football players and band members here tonight. First are our cheerleaders. Kayla Ashley. Kayla is escorted by her mother and father, Jeanette and Bob Ashley. Kayla is involved in Executive Student Council, National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, Spanish Club, and dances for Off the Edge Dance. Kayla would like to thank her family for their love and support, her coaches for giving their time and pushing her to be a better athlete, and her teammates for all the memories throughout the years. Kayla plans on attending college to pursue a degree in business and fashion merchandising. She is currently undecided on a college. Kirsten Hemberger. She's escorted by her parents Joe and Michelle Hemberger and best friend Madison Owens. Kirsten is a four-year varsity cheerleader and currently serving as captain. She plans on attending UC or Miami University to major in early childhood education or special education. Kirsten hopes to continue cheering at the college level. Kirsten would like to thank her family, especially her parents, for always supporting her. Kirsten would also like to thank her friends, fellow cheerleaders, and coaches for making her senior year one to remember. Danielle Horney. Danny is escorted by her parents Bob and Missy Horney. Danny is a four-year varsity cheerleader and is a three-year member of the National Honor Society. Her favorite part of high school is cheering under the lights on Friday night. She plans on attending Bellarmine University to pursue her dream of being a pediatric nurse and cheer at the collegiate level. She looks forward to helping children in the future. Danny would like to thank her family and friends for supporting her throughout the years. Kaylee Kinnett. Kaylee is escorted by her parents Troy and Amy Kinnett. Kaylee is a four-year varsity cheerleader and is a three-year member of the Spanish National Honor Society. Her favorite memory from cheerleading was having the opportunity to cheer with her closest friends throughout the years. She'll be attending Good Samaritan College of Nursing in the fall of 2015. Kaylee would like to thank her family for being so great and always supporting her through everything. Anna Kling. Anna is escorted by her parents Kathy and Andy Kling. Anna is a four-year varsity cheerleader and the co-editor of the yearbook staff. Her favorite cheerleading memory was being able to cheer for her brother his junior and senior year. Anna would like to thank her entire family and her friends for always supporting her through anything. She'll be attending Good Samaritan School of Nursing in the fall to pursue a career in pediatric oncology. Peyton Nagara. Peyton is escorted by her parents Andy and Ray Nagara. Peyton plans on attending a state university to major in nursing with a minor in sign language, and is undecided on whether she wants to cheer in college. She would like to thank her friends and family and every cheerleading coach throughout the years who's made this night possible. Brady Reardon. Brady is escorted by his father, Ken Reardon. Brady has landed a job being a forklift technician. Brady would like to thank everyone who has given him grief about being a male cheerleader. Go Wildcats. Next, we're going to introduce our senior football players. Alonzo Garcia Alvarez, escorted by his parents Lucy Alvarez and Armando Garcia. Alonzo plans to attend college for communication and engineering. escorted by Anita and Donnie Bunker. After high school, Aaron plans on attending a firefighter academy and to become a firefighter. Connor Brown, escorted by his parents Mike and Sherry Brown. After high school, Connor plans to go to college and pursue a degree in physical therapy. Nick Bonfield, escorted by Terry Bonfield and Mary Sue Finley. After high school, Nick plans on attending Ohio University to study education. Tristan Brulin, escorted by his mother Nicole and stepfather Thomas. After high school, Tristan would like to go into the Navy and become a special warfare combatant craft crewman. Nick Grimes, escorted by his mother Lisa Houck. After high school, Nick plans on attending Ohio University to study engineering. Chad Clapper, Chad is escorted by his parents Dennis and Miranda Clapper. After high school, Chad plans on attending Northern Kentucky University to study sports medicine. Go Norse. Michael Nolan, escorted by his parents Scott and Sheila Nolan. Michael is undecided on a college, but would like to major in agriculture. Tyler Marksberry, escorted by his parents Sean and Megan Marksberry. Tyler plans on attending Cincinnati State and is undecided on what he will study. Nick Mattingly, Nick is escorted by Sandy and Bill Mattingly. Nick is currently in the National Guard, and he leaves for basic training on June 22nd. Greg Morgan, escorted by his mother Joyce Morgan and father Ray. After high school, Greg plans on being an aircraft loadmaster in the United States Air Force. escorted by Matt and Heather Hyatt and his brother Tate Hyatt. After high school, Drew plans to join the United States Air Force Security Forces. After completing his military obligations, he would like to pursue a career in the criminal justice field. Tanner Stubenrath. Escorted by his parents John and Noel Stubenrath. After high school, Tanner plans on attending Miami Hamilton to study sports rehab. Tyler Tackett. Escorted by April and Ronnie Tackett. After high school, Tyler plans on pursuing a career in firefighting. Cody Ward. Escorted by Steve and Debbie Ward and Doug and Kendra Helms. After high school, Cody is undecided on what college he will attend, but plans on majoring in criminal justice. Jake Weber. Escorted by his parents Rob and Dee Weber. After high school, if Jake doesn't play football, he plans on attending Ohio University to study special education and to coach football. Jake wants to thank the coaches, his parents, and the student section for all their support. Lastly, we will recognize our senior band members. Jesse Butler. Escorted by Donna Butler. Jesse plans on majoring in criminal justice at either University of Cincinnati or Bowling Green University. She would like to thank Mr. Egan and Miss Purdy for always pushing her to greater heights and giving her confidence in all performances. She would also like to thank her family and friends for always being by her side. Dylan Chaffee. Dylan is escorted by his parents, Terry and Michael Chaffee. Dylan would like to give a special thank you to Miss Maldonado. His future plans after high school attending the University of Cincinnati and nursing to obtain a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Plans to work at Children's Hospital after college. Joseph Ernst. Escorted by Christopher and Margaret Ernst. Joseph would like to thank his parents for supporting him throughout high school. You guys rock. We'd like to thank Coach Moss for 8 seasons of track and cross country. You've been a real influence on my life. Joe plans on possibly double majoring in bioengineering and civil engineering. Whitney Haggard. Escorted by her mother, Leslie Schultz. After high school, she plans to attend either University of Cincinnati or Bowling Green to become a medical assistant. I'd like to thank my mom and sister, Addie and Megan, for always being there for me throughout my high school years. And I'd also like to thank my best friends, Brittany and Cole, for supporting me through all the hard times. My favorite memories were finally getting my toss down in my solo and feeling the achievement of color guard placing second in our first competition. The people I'm going to miss the most next year are all the people I've met and become friends with by a couple years in marching band. Jake Malusik, escorted by his parents and Will Malusik. Jake has been in the marching band, jazz band, and pep band for all 4 years of high school. He is also in the show choir band and will be designing the sets for the show choir this year. He plans to attend college in the fall and major in mechanical engineering. He would also like to thank his parents for helping him achieve his goals in life. Katie Lofton. Katie is escorted by her parents, Ed and Teresa Lofton. After high school, Katie plans to attend college and major in environmental sciences. She's going to miss show choir the most about high school and has also enjoyed participating in band, key club, and church activities over the years. Chris Molesky. Chris is escorted by his parents, John and Debbie Molesky. He'd like to thank his parents for always being supportive over the years. Mama Mel and Kathy for all their support with the band. Chris will be attending college in the fall for an undecided field. Julia Pockmuller, escorted by Christian and Trisha Tracy. She would like to thank her parents and her host family and all the people that have accepted her here into their lives. Julia plans to go to college in Austria to study interior design. Julia enjoys marching band and writing. Julia is a member of the dance team, marching Wildcats band's percussion section, and plans to do winter guard in the upcoming season. Thomas Payne, escorted by Katie and Keith Payne. Thomas plans to attend Thomas More College for biology. He'd like to thank his parents for supporting him in all his goals. Ben Shirey, escorted by Michelle Shirey. Ben would like to thank Mr. Scribner and Coach Charles for supporting his glittering sanity. Plans to go to college to study mathematics. We'd like to thank Russell Hugel for seeing something in him. We'd like to thank Mr. Abbott for wanting Ava Soon more than Novo. Amanda Cedar. Amanda is escorted by her parents, Amy and James Cedar. Amanda's future plans is to attend UC and Blue Ash to major in photography and join a DCI corps as a guard member. She would like to thank her family and friends for supporting her throughout high school. One of the best memories she's had is when she ranked first guard in her class at the home competition. Jennifer Spencer, escorted by her parents Jim and Maria Spencer. Jenny is the drum major of the marching band. Outside of band, she is a dance captain for show choir, the president of drama club, and the student director of the junior school choir. She plans to attend Liberty University in the fall. Jenny is currently undecided but hopes to continue performing throughout college. Jay would like to thank her grandma, Esther Spencer, for having an uplifting influence in her life, and her brother for always supporting her at each of the performances. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big applause for all of our senior student athletes. Ladies and gentlemen, good persistent Wildcats! Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please rise, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Harrison High School. For tonight's Southwestern Co-Conference matchup between the Northwest Knights and your Harrison Wildcats. The officials for tonight's game are Jerry Sally, Mike Whitman, Al Bailey, Phil Worcester, and Bob Blair.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome everyone to high school football. Well, the Wildcats of Harrison this evening are going to play host to the Knights from Northwest. Wolchunk behind the mic, also with a good friend of mine, Mike Schweinfest.
Good evening, Walt. Good evening. Good to be here.
I'm glad to hear you say that. It's good to be here, too, with you, Mike. Mike's worked quite a few of these games, and it's fun working with him tonight. First time I've ever had an opportunity to work with him, so this is going to kind of be fun. This is a very important game tonight. Harrison, of course, with that 6-2 record, a win tonight is going to be very big for the Wildcats. Could put them in the state playoffs. Right now, the Knights of Northwest, they're going to have this game if they intend to go to the state playoffs. And I don't know the point system right now. I don't have all their points. Mike, you may have a little more than that on me. Could you help me here?
Well, Harrison appears to be a lock, even if something would happen in the last 2 games, but it appears they have a lock. This would be a huge win for Northwest. If they could knock off Harrison, that would escalate them in the standings. They are currently not in the top 10 of the Harvard ratings. So, Walter, we're almost ready to go here. The kicker for Northwest is Alex Shibik.
Harrison's elected to receive. Apparently, it's going to be a short kick. And boy, he's down immediately. Did you get a number for me there, Mike?
Talon James was for Harrison, number 18. Jason Reynolds checked that. He was the one that took the kick up short.
Very short kick for the Knights. Gets them on the 35-yard line, Mike. And boy, he was hit immediately, too. He didn't even move. I'm surprised he didn't call for a fair catch on that.
Yeah, I agree with you there, because I don't think that was planned by any means.
Right. Well, the Wildcats got pretty good field position right now. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the 35-yard, on their own 35-yard line. This will be the first play of the ball game for the Wildcats.
Out wide is Mitchell Hogue and Tristan Doolin for the Wildcats. Jake Weber is the quarterback.
And he's going to be back in the shotgun position. It's going to be a handoff, first play of the ball game, trying to find a hole up middle, and there's no room there at all. He's going to pretty well, half the team's going to tackle him there, Mike.
That was Alex Anderson that lost actually 2 yards on the play.
Well, that's going to give him a 2nd and 12 for the Wildcats. One of the things here about the Wildcats, they've had a great year this year. Got a good ball team out here, Mike. One of the things about their quarterback, he can throw, he can run. He's probably the most valuable player in their team right now as far as picking things the way he wants to line them up. Of course, your quarterback is the most. Looks like it's going to be a pass play, Mike. He's got one receiver and almost intercepted.
He was looking for it, too. The defensive back that broke that up, number 4 for...
And his favorite receiver, of course, Mitchell Hogue. And he was he was intended for Mitchell Hogue, but they were lucky that wasn't intercepted.
Yeah, Peyton Brown did a nice job. That was Northwest, Peyton Brown.
Looks to me like it's going to be 3rd and 12 for the Wildcats. This is their first selection of plays, and so far they're looking for the right pass, and they haven't hit it yet, Mike. 3rd and 12 for the Wildcats. Weber's going to be back in the shotgun. Got 4 receivers. It's a pass play all the way. And open on that play, and it's going to be a first down, Mike. His favorite receiver, and that's Hogue.
Jake Weber leads the conference in passing with 1,391 yards, and like you said, Walter, Jake Hogue is his key receiver for the Harrison offense.
It's going to be up on the 47-yard line, Mike, where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Their first down of the ball game, and that was their 3rd play of the ball game. Back in the shotgun again is going to be Weber. He's got a couple wide receivers off to the left. He's going to be a keeper. And Jake's going to see if he can find some room. He's going to get a couple yards out of it. Give him 5 yards on that. Who brought him down, Mike?
For Northwest, Brandon Shane, number 11.
One thing about this, Mike, I've seen this young man when he gets a little room to run. He is a strong runner. He'll be hard to bring down. That's kind of another bullet in their receiving here for the Wildcats. Well, it's going to be 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats. Again, they'll use Jake back in the shotgun. He's got a man open.
Oh.
Fell down.
Fell down. Both of them fell down.
Yeah.
Number 6 was the defender, Shane Baldwin, who almost had an interception there.
And again, it was Mitchell Hogue he was throwing to. That's his favorite passer. Or receiver, excuse me. That's his favorite receiver. And he fell down. He didn't have a chance for that. I'm surprised it might been a little shorter than we had an interception.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be 3rd and 5, a big play for the Wildcats. They are in Northwest territory. They're in the 48-yard line of Northwest. Back in the shotgun is going to be Weber. He's got a couple wide receivers. Looks like a pass play all the way on third down. Give him a little room, he'll run it. I don't know if he made it to first down or not, did he?
That's awful close. The spot looks like he's got it. Jake Weber is on the carrying the ball, and it looks like he does have first down, Walter. They might measure this just because of the chains are on the other side of the field.
Was
So
that Barry? Could you tell if it was a 23 that pushed him out of bounds? They're giving him first down, Mike.
First down. It was Jamarco Lewis
that brought him out of bounds?
Yes.
Okay. Well, another first down for the Wildcats. It's going to be 1st and 10, and they're down at the 42-yard line of Northwest. Well, they'll go with 1st and 10. I don't know about you, but I tell you what, I always like it when you receive the ball first in a ball game.
You got a chance to score.
That's correct. You always got a chance.
And Harrison's averaging 36 points a game, so you want the ball right away.
I agree with you. Well, you're right on it with that. And again, back in the shotgun, a handoff right up the middle. And he's still going down to the 17-yard line. And you're going to give that one right now to, is that Barker?
It's Tylen James.
That was James that had the ball?
Yep.
Boy, he shot out of there like a bullet.
Yep. Good hole by the offensive line.
Yeah, he's going to take it all the way down to the 17 for a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. And we got flags everywhere, whistles everywhere. Looks like
might have a false start.
Yeah, I think it was too, Mike. I couldn't really tell. It is a false start, 5-yard penalty against the Wildcats, where it's going to be 1st and 15. It's going to put it on back to the 22-yard line.
You know, talking about offense, the Wildcats do average 36 points a game. They give up 21. Well, Northwest only averages 20 points a game, while they give up 18. So they have a pretty good little defense here, so it'll be a nice test for Harrison.
Well, the penalties never do help, Mike. I don't care which team you're on. 5-yard penalty gives them 1st and 15. And again, back in the shotgun is going to be Weber. He's got 3 wide receivers, a handoff up the middle to James.
James again.
He's going to only pick a couple yards up on this. I don't know if he got back to the line of scrimmage or not. Did he, Mike?
No, it looks like it's going to be 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 for the Wildcats. Looks like there was 2 or 3 nights that took him down. I really couldn't tell who had the main hold on him. But there was no hole opening up for him. He needs you give him a little room and he'll move on you. It's going to be 2nd and 11 for the Wildcats. They're down to the 19-yard line. We got 4 wide receivers, 1 in the backfield. Weber's in a lot of trouble. He's going to be sacked. You can see that coming.
That's Darius Hayes Caruth for Northwest.
Boy, they came right through that line. One of the problems they had against Mount Healthy. Mount Healthy just blew that line apart. That was their one big loss this year, Mike.
Yeah, and they've lost to 2 really good teams. Harrison has. They've lost to Western Brown, who's still undefeated. They're Division III top ranking in the state, and high on the Harbin ratings for Division III. And then Mount Healthy, who's right there at number 1 in the Harbin ratings. So 2 good teams that they've lost to.
Yes. Well, it's going to be 3rd down and 15. Sacked back on the 22-yard line. Pass batted down. Yeah. And
the defender on that was Shane Baldwin again for Northwest. He's calling all the tough assignments, it looks like.
Yeah. So now they got a choice here. They're going to try the extra point, or they're going to go for they're going to try for the 3 points, or they're going to go for it.
Well, they're going to go for the field goal.
Well, they're telling me it's a 38-yard attempt. One of the problems we've had here, Mike, is the Wildcats have had is the field goals. So we'll see how they do on this one.
Alonzo Garcia is the field goal. Holding is Cody Ward.
We'll see what happens. Kicks up.
Oh,
looks good from here.
Yes, it does.
We'll see what the strikes say. It's good. Wildcats take first lead. 38-yard field goal, good for 3. The Wildcats take the lead with 3 points here in the opening quarter. That's always a good start for any ball team.
Yes, it is.
When you get on the board first.
And you were talking about the Harbin points, Walter.
Yeah.
Mount Healthy is number 1 in Division II, and followed by LaSalle Kings, Lima Senior, and then Harrison is in the 5th spot. And they have a pretty good distance on Loveland and Glen Estee and then Winton Woods. Winton Woods would have to upset, I believe they play Elder tonight. And that would be, obviously, if they can win that game, that would be some huge points for them.
Right.
But we were also talking about Western Brown is number 4, and they're 8-0, and they're in Division 3, though. So as the season's rolling down here and the playoffs are getting ready, this is that time of the year where you start watching the Harbins. And Walter, last year, these two teams met. Harrison won in regular season, and Northwest beat them in the first round of the playoffs last year to move on to the second round.
I honestly forgot about that, Mike. That's very unusual. And you want it, if you're a Harrison, you want it the other way.
Yeah.
But Northwest was happy the way it went.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Well, Northwest is going to get their hands on the ball for the first time. They got 2 in the backfield.
Yeah, back deep for Northwest are Shane Baldwin. Kicking off is Garcia for Harrison. Oh, that's unbelievable.
Yep.
That ball was a short kick, and 20 for Northwest. Did not come up and cover it.
Who recovered that for the Wildcats? I'll be honest with you, Mike, I couldn't catch it.
No, I got the number right here. It's number 26 for Harrison, and that was Alonzo Alvarez, the kicker.
How did he get down there so quick, Mike?
That's his duty.
Yeah, it's his duty. It's not everybody's duty, but to do that, Mike, that's special. It's going to be Wildcat ball, an unbelievable play. That wasn't, by the way, if you're watching the game, that was not a side kick. That was just a regular kick. It took a bounce, Wildcat bounce, I'll call it, came right back, and Alvarez went right on. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. They're going to be on the 24-yard line. Weber in the backfield, looks like a pass play all the way. Little short play is not going to get them anywhere. I don't think it's going to get them back to line of scrimmage, Mike.
No, they lost 2 on that. Tackle on the play for Northwest was by Cortez McGinnis, and he read that out very well.
Yeah, was that Anderson that received the ball?
Receiver was Anderson.
Yeah. Okay, where it's going to be 2nd and 12 now. We're going to go with 2nd and 12 for the Wildcats. And Weber's been in the shotgun the whole game. He kind of switches around, but tonight that's not the case. Got 3 wide receivers. He's got 1 in the backfield with him, and it's going to be a keeper for Jake. And boy, Northwest copped that right out.
Yep,
he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all, isn't it, Mike?
They're waiting on him. Once again, Cortez McGinnis came up to make the tackle, along with Michael Smith, defensive tackle. It's 3rd and 10 still, Walter.
Yeah, they just got back to the line of scrimmage, Mike. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Wildcats.
Calling plays in from the sideline. Shane Souders is the offensive coordinator for Harrison.
Well, it's going to be James and Anderson in the backfield. We have a timeout here, Mike?
Yeah,
I think
timeout
we do.
for Harrison. They weren't sure what they're going to do, and this is crucial. You can't let this opportunity go away. You get an onside kick, and you're not moving the football like you normally could.
That's correct.
Once again, getting back to that defense, Northwest at 5-3 is not that bad of a defensive ball club. So they have some quickness, and right now they have Harrison figured out. It's almost like they've studied their films and done a good job of.
I think they've done their homework here, Mike.
Exactly.
That's very apparent. Right. I look out here, and there's a good crowd from Northwest, but not the biggest crowd. I'm really surprised. Harrison's pretty well. Football's been their sport out here in Harrison, and they've really got it. Of course, it's a home game, too, Mike.
It's a home game. It's a nice night.
Yeah.
You don't get many of these in October.
Harrison out here, they're celebrating their 100th year of sports. They started just 100 years ago, so they decided to make it kind of special, so they're redoing the whole track. They had a couple lanes. They've done so much out here, I don't even know where to begin. But they're still next to a cornfield out here. We're still in Harrison. We're still a bunch of farmers around out here in Harrison, they say. Right now it's going to be, we're going to have James in the backfield next to Weber. Looks like a pass play all the way. He's got one man open over there, but is it intercepted?
Pass is incomplete.
Pass is in. Boy, it looked like it was intercepted, Mike.
Yeah, that was the defender on that again was Shane Baldwin. Shane's done a nice job tonight. He's really excelled back there. It's almost like he knows where the passes are going to go, and he has done a nice job. Coach McCullough might want to go for this. They have the ball on the 22-yard line. It's 4th down. punt does you no good. You can try another field goal, but you can't let this opportunity go away when you get a recover a kick like that.
I'm going to agree with you 100% on that, and they are going for it. They got one wide receiver at both ends.
Might see a little trickery here.
Yep, you're right. And he's trying to find somebody, trying to get loose. And he's going to be sacked bad.
They're doing a nice. Northwest is really doing a nice job. Been on the tackle.
He didn't have anybody open, scared of an interception, so he just ate it. It's going to be a big loss on the play. Yeah. All the way back to the 34-yard line. Northwest had that figured out. There was no place for Weber to go. We got a replay on that one here. Just give us an opportunity. You can actually see what happens here. Can't find anybody.
Things just aren't developing like they should. The passes are taking too long. The receivers either are not running their routes properly, or Northwest, give them credit, or covering them. Brandon
Shawn just stayed right with him. Was all over him. Okay, this is going to be 1st and 10 for Northwest.
Quarterback for Northwest.
Go ahead. It's going to be first play of this. It's going to be good enough for a first down. It's going to be Shelton, and he's going to make a completion. It's going to be just enough for a first down. He got about an 8-yard and then ran for a couple more yards. Looks like it's all the way down to the 44-yard line, where it is going to be 1st and 10 for the Knights.
Brandon Shelton's the quarterback for he's not the starting quarterback, but he's the quarterback. He might be the passing quarterback, and his pass was complete right there to Darius Hayes-Caruth.
It was right on it, Mike. You're right about that. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Knights. Shelton, quarterback. They're on the 44-yard line. Another pass. And his boy, they collided. Do we see any flags down there?
There's no flags. Pass was intended for number 85. Is nicely broken up by Andrew McCord for Harrison.
Boy, they hit at the exact same time. And boy, usually when you see that, you'll see a flag one way or the other. But it's going to be 2nd and 10 now for the Knights. No good. Somebody had said they got a pretty good running game, but we really haven't seen that yet, have we, Mike?
No, they're not showing that. And then,
like
I say, with Shelton in there at quarterback, probably tells you they're going to pass, and there we go with the run.
Yep. Boy, he just shoots right up the middle.
That's Corey McGinnis.
It's close to a first down, too. Yeah, I was told that they got a couple good runners in there. They didn't give him first down on it. They say it's going to be 3rd and short. Looks to me like 3rd and inches. Well, we'll see what they do with it now. Going to hand it off to number
3 again. He gets the first down and some.
Yeah, boy, he just right through that line. He's going to make it all the way down to the 41-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Knights.
Tackle made by Mason Bruner for Harrison, but they got first down on the 40-yard line. They've entered Harrison territory, Walter.
Yep. 1st and 10 for the Knights, and they're moving the ball right now. And they're kind of mixing them up a little bit.
Shelton still in there at quarterback. Has 3 receivers out.
Yep, it's going to be a handoff again to McGinnis, and he's going to get a yard or two, and that's all he's going to do. Looks to me like he's going to make it down to the 41-yard line. Good for 2 yards, where it's going to be 2nd and 8, Mike.
Looking at the stats for the conference stats for the Southwest Conference, Northwest they have 5 players that have attempted passes. Shelton is the one that's attempted the most. He's passed for 685 yards. But 5 different people have attempted the passes.
The Northwest Knights,
yes. As far as their rushing game, their leading rusher is McGinnis for 597 yards.
That I wasn't aware of. Well, that's number 6 with it. He's going to get a few yards out of that.
That's Shane Baldwin back in the game.
Yep. We've heard that name here before tonight, haven't we, Mike?
Yep. He's playing both ends of the ball.
Yeah, when you get in these schools like Northwest and Harrison, you'll see some of the real athletes. They're going to have to play both ways. It's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Knights. It's all the way down to the 39-yard line.
Bradley Addis was in on the tackle for Harrison. Brings up 3rd and 3. 3:56 to go in the first quarter. Harrison on top, 3-0.
Seems like a long quarter here, Mike. Maybe it's just
and it was going fast, and then all of a sudden,
things slow down. Yeah. Okay, it's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Knights. Brandon Sheldon, he's going to be back in the shotgun. looking for somebody. He's got a man open. Looks like
Pass
it's going to be
incomplete. In on the for Mitchell Hogue was in on the defense there for Harrison.
Yeah, well, there's another name we're hearing both ways too. And
yep.
A lot of people say he's better on the defense, and I've heard other people say this kid is a receiver.
Yeah.
So he's just an athlete.
Yeah, DJ Martin was the intended receiver.
Well, now they're going to be fourth, and I would think they'd go for it here. I don't see him kicking the ball.
No,
I don't think you gain anything by that here, Mike. You're down here on the 34-yard line. So it's going to be 4th and 3 for the Knights.
Look for McGinnis to get the ball, number 3.
Well, I think that's exactly what happened here. They're trying to draw them off on sides. Yep. Timeout by the Knights. They're going to retalk this thing over. I still think they ought to go for it, Mike.
Oh, I think they will too, Walter. They're on the 33-yard line. Punting does them really
we still got 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
So, I mean, you want to try and pin them down. But you got a long ball game here.
Yeah.
A lot of time left.
Yes.
And they'll come up with something here. See who comes out at quarterback.
It's amazing, Mike, because I feel like just a few weeks ago we started football. And there's only one more game left. Regular season, it's over. And then we're going to the playoffs. And the Knights are going, there's the Wildcats going. And look what you said earlier, and I didn't see the results of the report, but Harrison's pretty well. If they get one win next 2 games, I think they're going to the playoffs. Now, the Knights got a different story. They're going to almost have to win out.
They need to win out, and they still may not get in.
Right.
And it's a little bit easier for Harrison than it is for Northwest.
Right.
They have to play at Mount Healthy next week, and that's going
to be a tough
very
game.
Good team.
Very tough game.
Where Harrison travels to Edgewood next week.
Right.
And they're not doing very well. But here we go, Walter. 4th and 3.
It's going to be 4th and 3 for the Knights, and they've decided they're still going for it. They couldn't draw Harrison off sides yet. So it's going to be a pass play. Shelton, he's going for a long. We got a man open, but it's too long, incomplete.
That's interesting. The running quarterback threw the ball. Shelton, the passing quarterback, was not in the game at quarterback. So maybe that was part of their strategy that they were thinking that, okay, we got the runner in here. We can maybe sneak one in here. And the receiver was wide open.
Yeah, he was. He was. So, I don't understand that. I don't catch it. I guess it was to throw him off, Mike. I think you're right. But
absolutely.
It threw everybody. It did throw him off. It wasn't a completion. So it's going to be a Wildcat ball, 1st and 10, 34-yard line.
Well, they dodged a bullet on that one, just like Northwest dodged a bullet on the kickoff.
Right.
Harrison dodges a bullet there.
Correct.
So they need to get their offense going here. Averaging 36 points a game, they got a lot of ground to make up here.
You're exactly correct. Whoever hands it off goes up the middle, and there's nothing there.
No,
nothing. Half the team's on top of him. I think that's James, is it, that got the ball?
James got the ball. McCowan's was the first one there, but there were numerous.
Yeah. Well, we're going to lose 3 yards on the play. And we've seen this quite often when they try to go up the middle of that line. That defensive line that Northwest has got, very impressive. I haven't heard a lot about their defensive line at all this year. They said, you got to watch your offensive line. They can break through quick. They got a couple real quick kids. That's what I'd heard for the game, and I'm hearing that from, fans that have been following both teams.
Well, this coaching staff at Northwest has done a nice job because they absolutely know what Harrison's going to do at this point in the game.
Yeah, it's going to be a handoff. And, boy, I'll tell you what, he's not going anywhere.
Nothing there.
Yeah, that's going to be Daniels. Not Daniels, excuse me. That's going to be Anderson for the Wildcats.
And Shermer was in on the tackle for Northwest.
He's going to get back exactly where he was. It's going to be 3rd and 13. So they're calling the play in for the Wildcats right now. So we're going to have three wide receivers off to the right. It's going to be a pass play all the way. They're giving Jake plenty of time to throw. Got a man wide open. Completed.
How did he get so open?
Man, there was nobody near him. They had 4 guys going for the deep guy.
Gerald Smith was wide open.
And, boy, he was waiting for it, too.
Peyton Brown on the tackle.
Right to him.
That's a huge gain, Walter. That's a gain of 27 yards there.
Well, the whole thing was back there. Weber had plenty of time to throw, too. That line just held him back.
Finally gave him a chance to throw.
Yeah, they give him a chance. That's what he hasn't had so far. When right now he's going to have 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 wide receivers to the left. Only one in the backfield, and he's not going anywhere.
Running game's just not getting it.
No, he won't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
No.
Yeah, that's going to be Anderson. And
Michael Smith in on a tackle for Northwest.
Right, I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage, and they're saying it's going to be a yard loss. Yeah, let's go for the half a yard. I don't know how you call that, Mike.
No.
We'll go call it a yard loss where it's going to be 2nd and 11 for the Wildcats. And again, they're going to have 3 wide receivers off to the left, 1 to the right. Weber in the backfield, and you can expect a pass on this one. The running game is nilch. He's got a man open there, broken up. Oh my gosh, that was Goins over there. And I'll tell you what, I thought I'd see a flag on that one. Boy, he was all over him, but official was just a few feet away, Mike.
Brandon Schoen was on the defense for Northwest. Something I've noticed, Weber's passes are all a little high. Everything's just a little high.
Yeah.
So maybe there's just a timing thing. It's the Northwest defense. It's causing him to rush his passes a little bit. He doesn't have the time in the pocket that he normally has. So we'll have to watch that as the game continues here. With 1:13 to go in the first quarter, it's still 3-0 Harrison.
Right. And right now it's going to be 3rd and 11. They're down on the 41-yard line. They're in Northwest territory. Looks to me like Northwest was offsides. They were. Well, that was a big one. That's going to give Harrison Wildcats, get them within 5 yards closer, I guess you could say, if you're a Wildcat fan.
Yeah, that was number 5 for Northwest, James Dean. It almost looked like he was in a stunning position or a opportunity to blitz there.
I'll really be honest with you. I was kind of watching. It looked like he fell. He wanted to go, and he just lost his balance, Mike. Okay, right now it's going to be 3rd and 6. Weber in the back's got a couple receivers. They're coming in. He's got room to throw.
Once again, pass is high.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Intended receiver was Mitchell Crawford for Harrison.
And Goins was in on that play, too. So now it's going to be 4th and 6. Do you kick or you try it?
Once again, you got them in their field position, so I don't see any advantage of punting unless you can drop one down there inside the 10.
I don't either, Mike.
And
what happens if you punt it and it goes in the end zone, you're bringing it out to the 20? What's 10 yards?
Yeah.
Because that's all you're going to end out. And they feel the same way, I guess we do. So they're going to go for it on 4th and 6. They got 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. He's got 1 man in the backfield. He's got a couple coming. There's a flag right there. Pass is good. It's going to be for a first down, but I think we're going to be called back with a holding.
Weber's pass is complete to Gerald Smith. I think we've got holding on.
Yeah, they say holding against the left. It was right in the place where I didn't see the hold, Mike, but it was right where you get holding. You know what I mean?
Well, once your quarterback scrambles like that, then your defenders, your linemen start to try and do stuff that they're not supposed to do, and that's when they get caught for holding.
That's correct.
Try and protect your quarterback.
And that was a big play, too. That was good for a first down.
It's just instinct. That was a nice little play.
We got a replay on this. We can see what happens here, Mike. You can see him coming in. In fact, they should have had him on a sack there. Well, that was a nice play. It's a shame it's not for the Wildcats, but for Northwest. Now it's going to be a kick and play all the way.
Punting for Harrison's Tyler and James, and that ball is going to Northwest. Going to let that one roll down about the 9-yard line. So
that was a nice kick, Mike.
Like we talked about.
Yep. Well, Northwest going to take back over. Now we look up at the clock, and I'm seeing 41 seconds to go, Mike, in the first quarter. Only score we've had so far is that 30-some-yard field goal by the youngster from Harrison.
So Northwest will come out with their offense. Let's see who the quarterback's going to be this time around. Looks like Shelton's going to come out as the quarterback, the passing quarterback for Northwest. And I say that only because he does lead them in passing.
I think they made a mistake last time. They had the ball with 4th down and elected to go with the other quarterback. That's why I'm not a coach, Mike. I have trouble with that. Back there is 25.
That's a safety.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how they left that happen. That's Jackson back there, Mike, and I don't know how he left that happen.
I think that was Mitchell Hogue that got in back there. The running back for Northwest was Devon Jackson, and he took the ball and just went the wrong way.
Well, I never even thought it was a handoff. I thought it was a keeper all the way, and then it was a handoff. He went the wrong way with it. You know, they're going to look at the scores, Mike, because they start popping up now around the country here. And they're going to see the Wildcats 5, and how do you get 5 points, Mike? It's just hard to do. You don't see that score. Yeah, it's a baseball score, correct.
So as a result of the safety, Harrison will get the ball. Northwest will have to kick off or punt, whichever they choose.
Correct. Always, you know, it's fair for both teams, but I've always questioned that rule that once there's a safety. Okay.
So the Northwest will have to take the ball at their own 20. And they'll either kick or punt. Looks like they're going to kick off.
Right.
Which means Harrison should end up with good field position here.
I always thought that was a double whammy when you first you lose 2 points and then you got to kick the ball. Yeah. But that's fair for both teams, and it's always been this way, Mike. Yeah. I've always looked at it like, boy, that's hard on one team, but that's the way it is. Of course, I'll tell you the truth, on a lot of games towards the end of the game, a lot of teams that take a safety on purpose because they got a lead. Okay, here we go.
Alex Shippick kicks off for Northwest.
Boy. Yeah.
Mitchell Hogue has the ball.
He's got a 10, makes it 20 yards up. Wow. He's going to go all the way down to about the 46-yard line of Northwest. So that's going to be a 24-yard return, Mike. That's a nice return.
That's a good return. They're marking it at the 46, Walter, with 27 seconds left in the first.
They are marking it at the 46-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. And, boy, they seem to get it back quick, didn't they? Of course, with the safety, that's just the way it goes. And you're in good field position here, too. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. And, again, Weber got a bunch. He's got a couple off to the left, one to the right, and it's going to be a handoff up. He's still looking for that opening. Got a little bit of an opening this time, Mike.
Got a flag on the field, Walter.
Yep. Harrison's walking back. I presume it's against Harrison.
Right. Raleigh Shermer for Northwest was in on the tackle.
Oh, this is going to be a bad one.
This will be a 10-yarder.
This is 10-yard back. It must be holding. Yeah, it's going to be back to the 46-yard line for the Wildcats. And this puts them in a bad light here. This is going to be 1st and 20, Mike. Not quite 1st and 20. I say it's 1st and 19. We'll give him an extra yard there. That's the second big penalty real quick that the Wildcats have taken on. They had that holding earlier. Now they had another hold here. Okay, 1st and 19. It's a keeper, and he's going to have another. Oh, jeepers! Back to the line of scrimmage or close to it. There just wasn't any room for him to go, and he was surrounded. He's going to take it on back to the 47-yard line.
Walter, that's the end of the first quarter with Harrison on top, 5-0. Coming on a Garcia field goal and a safety by Mitchell Hogue on Northwest running back Devon Jackson.
Well, in the first quarter, Mike, Northwest really didn't do much offensively. Made a lot of mistakes, I can tell you that. I think we had a coaching mistake, plus a couple other mistakes. Of course, now this is only my opinion. Okay.
There's your standings, Walter, on the screen. As you look into the conference schedule, Mount Healthy is 4-0, followed by Harrison and then Northwest. So they're really playing for something here. Northwest, who meets Mount Healthy next week, could have a chance to win the division, where Harrison, who lost to Mount Healthy, does not have a chance to win the division. And overall, as you can see, Mount Healthy, powerful team, a lot of offense. And they will travel. They will play Northwest next week at home, so that'll be a big game next week for these two teams.
This is interesting, too. Harrison's playing Edgewood. Harrison's got a 6-2 record, where Edgewood is 2-6.
Yeah.
So Harrison's got a little bit easier game than Northwest is going to have next week. Of course, you never know what's going to happen when you get on the field. Okay, here we are.
You'll have your hands full.
Yeah, you got that right. It's going to be 2nd and 19 for the Wildcats, 46-yard line. Weber's got 4 or 5 wide receivers. He's going deep. He's got one man back there. That's Hogue. Did he catch it, though? No, incomplete. He had it for a couple minutes, and that was it. And again, we know who brought him down. That's
great job. It was a great job by Shane Baldwin. He did a phenomenal job. Mitchell actually had the ball in his possession, and at the last second, Shane Baldwin knocked it out of his hands.
Just ripped it out of his hands. Well, it's now going to be third. And we see Hogue coming off the field, get a breather here, get some oxygen or whatever, where it's going to be 3rd and 19. Well, the Wildcats need a big play, and of course, Northwest has got to hold them here. They want to get the ball back. We're in the second quarter, 11:52 remaining. He's got a bunch of wide receivers out there. Jake's being protected pretty well, Weber is. Throws the ball. He's got a whole bunch of them there. It was a complete. They said he was out of bounds. I think's the call.
Yep, they said he caught the ball, but he was out of bounds when he
Correct.
made the call. So that's going to be a punting situation for Harrison as we start the second quarter.
Boy, he threw into big territory there too, Mike.
He threw into
Weber
defenders
did.
too, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Well, this is no-brainer here. You're going to have to kick the ball. You go 3 plays, and you pretty well, after the first play, it was 1st and 19, and they didn't improve on it, so they're going to have to kick the ball. And who's back for the Northwest?
Shane Baldwin's back deep for Northwest.
Okay.
Tyler James will be the punter for Harrison.
Looks like it's right to Baldwin. He don't call for a fair catch. Well, he
No.
wants to run that ball.
He does.
He's got guys all over him. There's a flag right in the middle of that whole mess. We'll see what that flag's about.
Baldwin's still on his feet. Looked like he was
he's
tackled.
he's hard to take down.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what the flag has to be.
I got a feeling it's going to be on the return team.
Yeah. Yep, it sure is. You hit that perfect, Mike. But what's the call? I never caught that.
This is going to put Northwest starting deep in their own territory.
I'm anxious to know what the call was. Was it hitting the back? Was it holding?
Blocking the back by
Blocking the
Northwest.
back, yeah. That's usually what you'll find right there. So it was on the 30-yard line. It goes all the way back to the 20, where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Knights. As we go into halftime here, we're 11 and a half minutes. A lot of playing territory here not to go.
And Shelton comes out as the quarterback for Northwest.
That's interesting.
They have 3 wide right. Shelton keeps the ball.
That's a surprise. He's going to get 5 yards out of it, too.
Trying to get himself out of a hole there.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to just give him 5 yards on that and call it 2nd and 5 for the Knights. Brings it all the way up to the 25-yard line, where it's going to be 2nd and 5.
Alex Anderson was in on the tackle for Harrison.
Shelton's still in the ball game, of course. It's going to be a handoff up the middle.
That's
And
McGinnis.
boy, McGinnis is going to take it right on down for a first down. He's down to the 34-yard line. I'm going to call it 33-yard line, Mike, where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Knights.
Mason Bruner in on the tackle for Harrison.
And they got that fast offense there. They want to play.
Same formation that Harrison comes up with. 3 right receivers out, 1 to the left.
Yep. And they're going to have McGinnis in the backfield. It's going to be a keeper all the way.
And
boy,
Shelton.
He's got some room to run too, right up the middle. He hasn't been touched yet, and he's going to go all the way down to the 15. Before I think was that McCord? Who was that brought him down?
McCord and Mitchell Hogue both
brought him down. Let's have a replay on that. Boy, this is a big play, Mike. He just went right through that offensive line. There's nobody there.
The motion was good. By putting that man in motion, it isolated the linebackers.
Yep.
There was nobody there.
Yep.
So Northwest has a scoring opportunity here. They're inside the 20 of Harrison.
This is as close as they've ever been, too, Mike. They're all the way down to the 17-yard line, we're going to call it, where it's going to be 1st and 10. And it's going to be a handoff this time. And, boy, he just keeps twirling around. He's going to get all the way down to the 15. So it's going to be a pickup. It looks like a 3 yards on the play. 2 yards, 3 yards. Let's give him 3 yards on that, where it's going to be 2nd and 7 for the Knights. And, boy, they line up right now. They don't give Harrison a chance to get going. They want to go it right away.
Michael Nolman had the tackle on that last play.
Yeah. They're going to have McGinnis in the backfield, and, of course, Shelton's still the quarterback. So it's now going to be 2nd and 3 for the Knights. Looks like a pass play all the way. Boy, he threw that right in the dirt. Bad play. 25 wide open for Northwest. That was Jackson there, Mike. And he had some room to run, too.
Yeah, he was open.
Yeah, you can't bounce it to him, Mike. That don't work. It's going to be 3rd and 7 now. I think we're in 4 down territory maybe right now.
Sure. Yeah, they need to score. Yeah, they're going to want to score a touchdown. They're not going to settle for a field goal if they can. It's 3rd and 8. Ball's on the 15.
Well, Shelton went over to talk to the coach, figure out what he wanted to do. I think he's been in almost every play but 1 or 2, hasn't he, Shelton?
No, Baldwin started the game at quarterback.
You know, I can't even remember that. Well, I wish I was young like you could remember all those plays.
The intended receiver for Northwest was Schnurr, and covering him.
What happened there, Mike? I
don't think the receiver was ready for the ball. He just wasn't ready for the ball.
Just went right by him. Now they're 4th and 7.
Matt Watson was a defender on that play for Harrison.
Well, they were right there on the play, too. Well, this is going to be a big play for him, Mike. Well, they're gonna have to go for it.
They better hurry. What they better do.
I don't know if they got a field goal kicker. You know.
Well, they're not going to kick a field goal. They're going to call a timeout. They were running close on the.
Well, the problem we got here, Mike, we don't have a timer, so we don't know where they're at.
Yeah.
You know, as far as time goes, and that even us watching the ball game on TV, we don't have a clue.
Yeah.
You know the bad part about this, Mike? Here it is Friday night, and everybody like to watch this live, and you're not allowed to. I think in the state of Ohio, you probably know more about this than me, what the law is, but you can't televise a game on Friday night in high school football. Am I correct? You can have it on radio. It's TV. They don't allow it.
Yeah.
So these people are going to have to wait till midnight before they get to hear me and you and see the game in action. Okay.
Yeah. Now, I do think they televise the playoff games, the state championship games. I think they televise those.
Was it last week? 2 weeks ago, Harrison played on a Thursday night. That was a Mount Healthy game.
Yeah.
And because it was Thursday night, they did have it on cable.
Yeah.
But I noticed that's become a big thing on TV now, Thursday night high school football. Playoffs are always exciting. The start of the year, you say, well, Harrison's got a great team, Northwest. And it gets down to the playoffs. Then you see how good these teams are. Now, let me tell you about a team that I think in Division II is going to be very powerful. And they haven't got all the points that Mount Healthy's got. They're called LaSalle.
Yeah.
Little Catholic school up the street up here in North Penn Road. They got a pretty good ball team.
Yeah, they've had a couple upsets this year already of good schools.
Yes, that's correct.
Here we go, Walter.
Shelton. Here he goes. Got a man overthrew it, but it's going to be a flag on it. They said no, and he is right there. No. Well, Wildcats are going to take over. And
Andrew
did you
McCord
notice
with the coverage for Northwest?
You're very good at this, so you've caught this all night. That pass also was high, Mike.
Yeah, pass
What's
was
that?
high.
What's that tell you?
Yeah.
I think they're rushing it.
Yeah,
I think you came up with something with your football knowledge. We're not saying we're the smartest people in the world, but I think you've got something there. All the passes tonight that have been bad have been high. Okay, the Wildcats are going to take over, but they're deep. They're deep in their own territory.
Starting on their own 15.
That's correct, where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Weber again back in the shotgun, but this time he's got 2 and 2. He's got a couple of both sides in the passing game. This is a bad place to throw if you're the Wildcats. He hands off up the middle, got a little bit of running room. He's going to get, looks to me, like 5 yards out of that, Mike. It's really hard to want to throw down here. Boy, you have an interception down here, you're in trouble. You give him 5 yards on it. Who had the ball? Was that?
Anderson was the running back for
the Wildcats.
Wildcats, tackled by Brandon Shawn for Northwest.
Well, it was good for 5 yards, where it's going to be 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats. Now they're back to the other one. They're going to have three receivers on the left, one on the right. It's going to be a keeper, but he's got plenty of room. You give him the open field, and he just tripped. There, nobody tackled him. He just fell all the way down to the 35-yard line. But they've got a replay on this, and I think you're going to see he just flat out fell. When he gets in the open, I've seen this kid go. Let's see what happens here on replay. It's a keeper, and nobody expected this. Now, right there, I think he just kind of tripped, Mike.
Yep.
Okay, here we are back to live action now. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. It's going to be a handoff.
That's Anderson.
Anderson looking for a little room. He's going to get 4 yards on it. Not bad. Harrison's running game tonight hasn't been the best. I don't know if you had an opportunity to watch that game, the Western Brown game, but that was one of the Harrison's best running games of the year.
Melvin Lawson was in on the tackle for Northwest.
It was good for 4. We'll give him 4 yards, where it's going to be 2nd and 6 on that for the Wildcats. It's going to be all the way up to the 37-yard line.
Harrison looking for plays from the sideline. Sean Souders, as we mentioned earlier, is the offensive coordinator for Harrison, calling in the plays.
Nobody in the backfield right now. You got 5 wide receivers, 3 to the left, 2 to the right, Mike. And it's going to be a keeper by Jake. He's got a little room up the middle. Oh, my gosh, he almost did a first down. That fooled everybody.
Weber with the keeper.
Yeah, it's going to make it all the way up to the 42-yard line. Got a replay on this, Mike. Now here's the replay on this. Everybody expected it up the middle, and Weber's got a little room to run.
Brandon Shawn once again in on the tackle for Northwest.
It's got 3rd and 1 right now.
3rd and 1.
Weber with it. He's going to be a keeper, try to get the first down. He's got that and some, all the way down to the 50-yard line. Good enough for a first down for the Wildcats.
Tackle made by Larry Bruce.
Yeah, they're going to move it back. I thought he had a 50. They're going to put it back on the 49. You know, I've mentioned this, Mike. I don't know if you've noticed it in high school football, but the last couple of years, the officiating's gotten so much better. The calls of, holding and everything. It's just spotting the ball. I don't know if we got better officials or what's happening
These
here.
guys don't have the luxury of instant replay and going to the booth and seeing where the spot is and seeing if both feet were in. They don't have that luxury. These guys are real, true officials right here.
I agree with you. 1st and 10. Weber's going to throw the ball. He's got a man open. He just slipped. And, okay.
Pick up about 4, Walter, on that.
I would agree with that. It's going to be 2nd and 6 for the Wildcats. I'll tell you what, he had a couple more yards to go. He had a little more room. He just found out. I don't know if that field's wet or what's happening out there. Both sides, we've had some people go down. Okay, it's going to be 2nd and 6 for the Wildcats. Same offensive line, and it looks like the same play. Jake Weber up the middle. Weber's going to get a couple yards out of it, where it's going to be 3rd. I'm going to give him 3 yards on that.
Well, once again, I just got to say the Northwest defense is really keeping Harrison at bay. And they're doing this for a reason. They're running Jake Weber to try and open some things up for the receivers. And he's either going to break one up the middle or he's going to find some receivers open eventually. But we got 6 minutes to go in the first half, and it's a 5-0 game, Harrison.
Right now it's going to be 3rd and, I'm going to say 3rd and 3 for the Wildcats. Weber's going to hand it off. No, it's going to be a keeper. He's not going anywhere. I couldn't. It fooled me, Mike. I don't know who had the ball.
No, that was once again.
Let's have a replay on that. See if you can figure it out. If you're watching the game like me and Mike are.
Well, they did a good job of reading it. Number 5, James Dean for the middle linebacker for Northwest.
Well, they got 4th and 3. Got back a little bit from the line of scrimmage. But there's not much on it. Are they going to kick the ball or are they going to go for it?
Well, you're almost at midfield here. You might want, with 5 minutes to go, you might want to kick the ball and pin them deep and make them go the whole length of the field with 5 minutes to go.
Could they line the ball up and hope for offsides?
Coach McCall is going to talk about it with his staff. But they, if you don't make this, you turn the ball over at the 44, 40.
That's not good.
Yeah, you have a shorter field
you
to go.
got 5 minutes and 16 seconds to go. Then it's all in the favor of the Knights as far as the Wildcats go. And you look at the other end, the Knights are hoping they try it, and they hope they can stop them. You want to get, Mike?
Yeah, this is the what you're seeing on your screen, folks, is the replay schedule of this game. And tonight you'll be able to see this game at midnight on Time Warner Cable Channel 4, Cincinnati Bell 834. And then you got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. You'll see all the times there in front of you for you'll be able to review this game and see this game. And hopefully mom and dads, grandma and grandpas, aunts and uncles will be able to see these young gentlemen playing tonight, Northwest and Harrison.
And we mentioned earlier, Mike, one of the reasons that it's going to be played at midnight, because according to the state of Ohio, the way I understand it is you can't show this on TV until midnight. On Friday night, and the playoffs are different now. That's not regular season. One of the reasons I was told they make this, they want as many people to come to the games as possible. They want live people at the games. Yeah. They want everybody staying home watching it on TV. And I kind of understand that. Well, we'll see what's going to happen here. It looks to me like they're going to go for it, and I'm really shocked.
Does to me also. And maybe they're going to try and draw them off sides.
Yeah, well, that's the first thing I'd try. If you don't draw them off sides, then try another one. Okay, here we go. It's going to be 4th and 3. They got 3 on the left, 1 wide receiver on the right. Well, I'm surprised they went for it. I'm surprised.
Wide open.
Wide open. I mean, he is wide open. And that's going to be James, and he's going to go all the way down to the 35-yard line. Mike, that's unbelievable.
That's a huge play. Cortez McGinnis is in on the tackle for Northwest, but that was a huge play.
Big play for the Wildcats.
They just kind of screened out if you watch this.
Here's the replay on it.
Yeah, the intended
Wait till you see how open 34 is.
Yeah, the intended receiver was wide open because the other two guys screened out. They went out and opened up that lane for him. It was a good call. Very good call by Kent McCall.
Guess who brought him down? McGinnis again for the Northwest Knights. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. He slipped again, but he's going to get a couple yards out of it, Mike.
Anderson's the ball carrier.
Yeah, Anderson again. But again, they're slipping out there, and we've had some dry weather here. I thought that field was in better shape than it is.
Brandon Schoen is on the tackle for Northwest.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We're going to give them 2 yards on that, where it's going to be 2nd and 8 for the Wildcats. And they are now down in the Knights territory.
Well, 4 minutes to go, Walter. Harrison needs to score here. That will definitely send Northwest.
They just brought Nolan into the lineup. Get on the line. We'll see what happens here. And, boy, they're sending their best wide receiver, which is Mitchell Hogue, way off to the right.
They're not fooling anybody with that run.
No.
Dominic Smith in on the tackle, the initial tackle.
Well, that was a big loss, that 2-yard loss. 3-yard loss, they call it, where it's going to be 3rd and 11.
Northwest has done a nice job preparing for this game. They know exactly what Harrison's going to do.
Harrison would like to get it down there. We get 3 more points, so 8 points. You almost got to have a touchdown with the extra 2 points. That would be a big score for them. And right now they got 3 minutes and 38 seconds to make this work. 3rd and 11 for the Wildcats. And again, the whole game he likes to be back in the shotgun. It's the same offensive line. They got 4 wide receivers. 3 off to the right, 1 off to the left. That's been switched around. He's
wide open. Look at this play, Walter.
Oh,
wide
my
open.
goodness. He's going to take it to the house, I think. Looks like touchdown Wildcats. It is. Who took it in there for him, Mike?
That was Alex Anderson. That was a nice play. Very nice call.
Well, was he wide open? How did he get so wide open?
He came out of the backfield. He was in the slot.
Well,
and they just didn't pick him up. Northwest
the Knights just left that go. Well, that's going to make it the Wildcats 11. Knights yet to score in this one. I'm sure they'll go for the extra point rather than the 2. This Wildcat kicker, I think he's almost ready to set a record. So many 1 points in a row. I'm just not sure how that works, Mike. But he's done a great job kicking the extra point. I believe
that's
it's
Garcia.
Alvarez.
Yeah, that's Garcia.
Garcia.
He kicked the field goal, and he's got the extra point.
Yeah. Well, the field goals he's had a little trouble with. But the extra points, he is dead on. If you would have a camera in the middle of that field goal, it would be right above you. He is good for them extra points. It's going to be the Wildcats 12. The Knights yet to score as we're going close to the first halftime here with Harrison. And again, we keep bringing this up. The Wildcats are 6-2, whereas the Knights are 5-3. This is a big game for the Knights. They're going to need this. Wildcats would like to have this game bad. They like to finish in a flourish, and they pretty well know it. If they win this, they pretty well know they're going. And you say they probably still got a shot if they don't win this, Mike. You're pretty well. I have trouble with the points, and my comrade here, he is good on this. He knows what's going on. So,
well, the losses that have hurt them is they lost to Talawanda Northwest. Harrison beat Talawanda, and that if Northwest would have beaten Talawanda, that would have been a whole different game. They did not score that night. They got beat 20-7. They got thumped by LaSalle, which you mentioned earlier. LaSalle's an excellent Division II football team. I believe they beat Moeller early in the season.
They did, and they beat them sound too, Mike.
Yeah, and so they're good. And the other loss was to Tecumseh, and Tecumseh is in the Harbin ratings. Tecumseh's ranked up there too in Division III. So they have 3 bad losses, but all of them are with 2 very, very good teams. So Northwest needs this game, and they need next week's game to try and get into the playoffs.
Both games are going to be hard now. They're trailing by 12 points here with 3 minutes remaining to halftime. And when you get the mound healthy, there's a good football team right there. It's going to be on the 14-yard line. As he starts bringing it back, it's going to be at the 25-30. He breaks through. He's only got 2 men to go to. He's back to the 40-yard line, 35-yard line. He's still running the ball. Is he going to go all the way home? He's going to take it to the barn.
He hit another gear there, too, about the 30-yard line. That's Shane Baldwin from
Boy,
Northwest.
he took it right in for a touchdown for Northwest. And I'll tell you what, there's only 6 seconds went off the clock. Was that ever quick, Mike? That's something you can't allow. Special teams could not allow that. But
No,
the
there was a break
Wildcats
there.
did.
And he started, when he took the ball to the right side of the field. He got all the way to the left side of the field.
Correct.
Probably going against the grain of where the blocking was, which opens those things up sometimes.
But he picked it up on the 14-yard line. That tells you how many miles he went. And it seemed like one time he kicked it in a higher gear, as you mentioned earlier. Well, they're going to go for the extra point.
Alex Shibbick is the kicker for Northwest on the extra point.
Well, we'll see how good he is. They say it went right through the middle. Point is good. It's going to be the Wildcats 12 and Northwest is on the board at 7. 6 seconds to score. Took them 6 seconds. Well, there's a big mistake, but there was mistakes made on both sides during this first half.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to look at that. We got a replay on this now. Yeah, this is Baldwin coming back at the end, and he just ran away from him. And once he's seen some opening, and the adrenaline starts to flow, and boy, you really kick it in gear.
Yeah. He only had 2 people to beat, and he, like I
Right.
say, he hit another gear there about the 30-yard line. He knew he had a touchdown.
By the way, I was never running back in high school, but I can imagine that thrill when you get away from most of them and you see nothing but daylight. Okay. Wildcats.
There's a lot of time here, Walter. 3:07 is a lot of time.
That is a lot of time.
And on a good night with this Harrison offense, they're explosive and they can score fast.
Well, they got Hogan in the backfield back there. Well, this quarterback they got, the Wildcats got, this Weber kid, he can throw the ball. He's got some depth to him. And then you got to look out for Weber, too. He could run the ball, too. If he gets an open field, you got to look out for him, too. So they got 2 weapons there. Right now, they got 3 minutes and 7 seconds to work with. They got Hogan in the backfield. That's one of their best runners. Boy, they kicked it right to him, too. He's got a little bit of room to run. He's back to the 25, 30, 35-yard. Down to the 37-yard line as he's brought down, Hogue is.
That's good field position. Cortez McGinnis was in on the tackle for Northwest.
And also, I think Brown was in there, too. Quite a few of them there. He's going to take it all the way back to the 37-yard line, which gives the Wildcats some good room. Now we'll see what kind of plays they call here with only 2 minutes and 59 seconds remaining to halftime. The one thing they do want to do, they want to keep the ball whether they score or not. Wildcats do, and of course Northwest, they'd like to have the ball back. Sure. Any kind of score here before halftime. They've had the same offense all the way through here, except they only got 3 wide receivers now. It's going to be a keeper all the way, and he's going to get a couple yards, and that's it. Back to the 40-yard line, give him 3 yards. But there was never a thought of handing it off or a thought of throwing.
Cortez McGinnis and Dominic Smith in on a tackle.
It's going to be good for 3. It makes it 2nd and 7 all the way up to the 40-yard line for the Wildcats. They're working with 2 minutes and 42 seconds to go. A lot of time in this first half yet.
Tylen James in the backfield with Weber.
And again, they got 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and it's a handoff, and he's not going to get anything. James is going to just get a couple yards. And in fact, he just got back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him a yard on it, Mike, where it's going to be 3rd and 6. So I'm not just sure what that play was called. They expected something else to happen. I don't know.
Well, there's a big 3rd down here. Third and 6.
Give
2 minutes to go.
6.
You're going to give the ball back if you don't get a first down here.
Harrison, you got to kick it. And then you give them an opportunity. I'm really surprised the Wildcats used a very conservative play like that. We'll see what happens now. Offense has never changed. If you look out there, you'll still see 4 wide receivers. And I don't know who they got running there in the backfield with. Is that Anderson? I can't tell. Oh, he's going to throw it.
Little that same play again. Oh,
he drops it. Oh, man, right to him.
That probably would have been enough for a first down.
That was going to be enough for the first down.
Yeah. Brandon Schoen in on the defense for Northwest.
That was Anderson again. It was right to him.
So they'll have to kick the ball away. Harrison will with 1:43 to go. Score 12-7. Harrison on top. Back deep for Northwest is Cortez McGinnis. and Shane Baldwin, who just took a kickoff back for a touchdown.
Well, that's the last one you want to kick it to is Baldwin.
And they do kick away.
They kick it away from Baldwin.
Uh-oh. Ooh, that could have been trouble.
Yep. You know, the funny part, they don't call for fair catches. What's going on, Mike?
I don't know.
It's all the way down to the 25-yard line. They didn't bring it back out at all. They touched the ball, and that's where he was down. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Knights down in their own 25-yard line. We're down to a minute and a half remaining in the first half. Score is 12-7. Wildcats on top.
Also, if anybody has found a black Coach wallet, if you could please turn it into the Athletic Booster Hut.
And as we said earlier, it looks like a few more fans have showed up here from Northwest. But, of course, this is a home game for the Wildcats. Wildcats have always supported football in Harrison, so they got quite a big crowd here tonight. And I think this is senior night, isn't it, Mike? If I'm not mistaken.
Night
so that's
for all
another
the
one.
Cheerleaders and the band members and the
as they say, farewell
players.
Yeah, I think this is the last. Is this their last home game? I believe it is.
Yes, they go to Edgewood next week.
He's going up to the 30-yard line. They're going to give him 6 yards on that one. They're going to play it kind of conservative too, the way it looks, Mike. If they can break one, fine. If not, they're giving him 6 yards on it, where it's going to be 2nd and 4 for the Knights.
Yeah,
I like their offense. They don't mess around. Get in line, snap the ball. And they still got Shelton back there at quarterback. That you had said earlier, they started off with Baldwin. Seems like it's been so long. It's going to be a keeper right up the middle. It looks like he's going to get a first down on that all the way up to the 36-yard line. It is. Good enough for a first down with 1 minute remaining.
Tackle made by Matthew Watson for Harrison.
Yep. They're now going to bring Baldwin back. Now Baldwin's a runner, you say?
Yes, Baldwin will be the running.
Well, he's got some room to run, too, and he's going to get a first down out of it all the way down to the 48-yard line. Wow, that was a nice run with 45 seconds remaining on the clock.
Each team has one timeout left, and the time stops to move the chains, and then it starts back up in high school football.
Well, they moved Shelton right back in there. He's going to throw the ball. And he's got Baldwin back there. Boy, that is complete.
That was Devon Jackson wide open.
With 29 seconds remaining, it's all the way down on the 12-yard line, Mike, or 11-yard line.
One timeout for Northwest remaining.
Yeah, it's amazing. 3 minutes to go, and Northwest could take the lead going in.
They intentionally ground the football, Shelton does. So they'll give them 2nd and 10 on the 11-yard line. So they have plenty of time to score. They can take 3 shots
remember,
here.
with 3.5 minutes to go in half, Wildcats had a 12-0 lead, and in 3 minutes, I think it was 3 minutes and 13 seconds, because it only took 6 seconds for them to score that run back. Okay, here we go. It's going to be 2nd and 11 for the Knights. Who's the quarterback they got in there?
That's Shane Baldwin.
Yep.
Looking for running room.
He's got a little bit of running room.
And
he just walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Knights.
Harrison's stunned. They just, if you look at the sidelines, they're stunned.
Yep.
They didn't expect this. Northwest did their homework. They have a good defensive plan for this high-potent Harrison offense, and it's working right now. They're up 13-12 with 16 seconds to go, and they're about to add the extra point. Alex Shibbick.
Really quiet over here on the Wildcat side. From here it looks good, Mike. We'll see what the stripes say. They say it's through. It's going to be the Knights from Northwest 14, and the Wildcats still got 12. Yeah, this is a shocker. 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the half. And you expect the Wildcats to hold on at the halftime with a 12-0 lead, but not the case. Knights have came up in less than 3 minutes and scored 2 touchdowns. The surprise was that last pass play, and that was a nice pass. That was a nice pass, but it didn't look like he was covered that well. There was a couple back there. It didn't look like Wildcats were even covering that well.
No,
Figured he wasn't going to catch it.
But they weren't close enough to stop it.
Right, correct. But as the ball's coming to him, you would think they could close in on him. Just not the way it worked out. Well, we'll see what Harrison does now. They still got 16 seconds to halftime. I think what they're going to do is they're going to catch the ball and just ground it out and call it quits and go to halftime and figure this thing out.
Kicking off for the Knights, number 90, Alex Schubert. Team return for the Wildcats, number 22, Gerald Smith, and number 2, Mitchell Hogue.
That's Alex Shibik once again kicking off for Northwest with 16 seconds to go.
And I would say Hogan. Who else we got in the backfield for the Wildcats receiving?
It's hard to tell those numbers on those black jerseys.
That's why I'm asking you, Mike. It's over to Hogue. Hogue's got a little running room. He's at the 30, 35. He's going to be brought down in the 39-yard line. It's going to get him down to 10 seconds in the first half. We'll see what they decide to do with it.
Possibly 2 passing plays here.
Yep.
And it doesn't hurt.
Right.
Something with a little trickery in it, or something with maybe a little deception.
I would think Northwest is going to be ready for it. They'll line up 3 or 4 men at the line of scrimmage and pretty well cover everybody as they go. Or is Harrison just going to down the ball and say, "This, we give up here this half. Let's go into halftime and figure out what we did wrong." It's the same plan, 2 wide receivers at both sides. Jake's going to be in the backfield. Weber, he's looking for somebody. There's only 3 there. He decided to run the ball. He's got a little running room. He's going to take off, run out of bounds at the 50. 3 seconds to go. He gets one more play out of this.
And that's a smart play. That's a veteran quarterback that didn't have anything, didn't want to try and manufacture anything, so he took the ball, picked up about 10 yards.
Yeah, he did. He got
stopped
11
the
yards.
Clock,
right.
And now he's got a chance to throw one in the end zone.
I'm going to agree 100% on that, Mike. That's one of the strengths of the Wildcats is their quarterback. And they got a good backup quarterback. The amazing part about their backup quarterback, he's also one of their best receivers, Mike. And that happens to be the Hogue, young Mitchell Hogue.
Yep.
And you can see him going out for a pass this time if they're going. They'll go deep with Mitchell.
Kent McCullough burns the last time out for Harrison. And to come up with something here that's going to keep, hopefully, put a score for Harrison's sake and for Northwest. They hope they can defend that.
Did you play any high school football, Mike?
I played 3 sports.
I did not know that. Gives you a little bit of edge. You know what the feeling is down there. I didn't have the opportunity to play any football when I was in high school. And it just gives you a little more opportunity to understand what's happening down there, how the kids feel.
Good memories. It's just a good time, good bonding.
Right. It is. I agree with you. Okay, here it is, last play. It's 1st and 10, but last play, time's just elapsed. He's looking around. He's got one open. Yep, we're going to see how far he gets. He's got 4 guys on him. He's going to get all the way down to the 35-yard line, and that's the end of the half, ladies and gentlemen.
That was Tylen James.
Yep, he makes it down to the 25-yard line, but it's going to be the Knights with 3 minutes remaining in the half, 14, and the Wildcats 12. That takes us to the halftime, and we're going to have some halftime entertainment here at Kuntz Field here in Harrison, Ohio. And want to thank ICRC for coming to Harrison and bringing this game to you. It's going to be the Wildcats playing host tonight to the Knights of Northwest. Both of them a big game for the Knights and a big game for the Wildcats. Both want to get in the playoffs. The Knights need this game bad. The Wildcats pretty well feel comfortable, but they'd like to have this game under their belt. Well, we're still going to see 2 more quarters, Mike, and find out what's going to happen. Right now, the Wildcat band, as they go out in the field, we're going to have an opportunity to watch them here at halftime. And that's going to be very entertaining. This year, every game I've watched Harrison on a couple of the ICRC games, they've came out with the boards, the blackboards here. And can you explain what this is? Because I'm trying to figure all this out. They'll set these scores up. It's a little bit different. It kind of looks kind of neat, Mike. But just you wait a minute, and they'll turn the black around, the white around. So I need somebody that understands what's happening here. There's your statistics here at halftime. Mike, you want to tell us just, if you'll study that there, find out who's who and who's winning the statistic fight.
We need to take a break right now, and we'll be back before the start of the second half, and we'll go through these stats.
Sounds good. Okay, everybody, we're going to sit here and watch halftime, and ICRC will bring us back in a few minutes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you could direct your attention to the track, please. 15 months ago, the Harrison Athletic Boosters and the entire Southwest local school community created the Century of Excellence Facility Renovation Project to recognize 100 years of athletics at Harrison High School. This first phase will provide all of our student athletes with some of the best facilities in Southwest Ohio to both train and compete. This first phase of the project was to replace the original lighting system at Wildcat Stadium, retrofit bleachers, install a new irrigation system on two additional full-length practice fields, and the construction of the only green 8-lane track in the state of Ohio. Tonight, we proudly mark the completion of Phase 1 by recognizing many of the individuals responsible for the success to this point. First, representing our sports teams. Football, Terry Jackson. Softball, Mike Shearing. Track, Scott Menzie. Boys basketball, Andy Marks. Girls basketball, Stuart Scribner. Volleyball, Amy Perwanger and Jean Williams. From the league champion girls soccer team, Troy Kennett. From the league champion boys soccer team, Chris Johnson. Cross country, John Moxinger. Tennis, Andy Zurich. Baseball, Andy Banks. Wrestling, Chad Dennis. Swimming, Mike Brozart. Cheerleading, Jamie Lynn Johnson. Boys golf and bowling, Trevor Ward. And the league champion girls golf team, Brian Carr. Now some very important corporate sponsorships. Representing the NFL and the Cincinnati Bengals, Mr. Jeff Erding. The Century of Excellence was notified this past week that they will receive a $150,000 grant from the NFL Foundation. Mr. Erding will now present the NFL Foundation grant check to Mr. Brian Knauer, Harrison Athletic Booster President. Thank you once again to the Bengals and the NFL. Representing Mercy Health, Lisa Sweeterman and Dr. John Zisco. Mercy Health, along with Wellington Sports Medicine, has been a partner of Southwest for well over 15 years. This past year, Southwest and Mercy entered into another 5-year commitment whereby Mercy will provide a wide array of services to not only our student athletes, but the entire community in general. Mercy also provides our great athletic trainer, Mrs. Megan Rudolph. Thank you to Mercy Health for all of your support. Harrison alumnus Mark Dole, along with Keith Clay, who is the Southwest Chapter Chairman representing the Ohio Contractors Association. As their community project 2014, the group donated time, material, and expertise toward the construction of this project, totaling nearly $100,000 in donations. The companies involved included Jurgensen Construction, Barrett Paving, Ford Development, Security Fencing, Bruce Concrete, Martin Marietta Aggregates, and AAA Safety. Other local contractors involved include Teeters, Greenspan Sod Farm, USEC Paving, Custer Electric, Cincinnati Asphalt, Shunk Trucking, Watson Gravel, Acre Landscaping, and Tough Turf Lawn Care. Also a huge thank you to the behind-the-scenes work of Main Source Bank and Loan Officer Mark Sands, the Century of Excellence Parent Committee, Athletic Boosters President Brian Knauer, Booster Treasurer Patty Van Cleve, Grant Writer Julie Eisen, and Financial Reporter Robin Allen, along with the Harrison and Southwest community, who without your support, all of this would not have been possible. We look forward to moving on to Phase 2. Also tonight, the home stands are being named in memory of Don and Vera Evans, who were lifelong residents, Harrison High School graduates, and strong community supporters who worked closely and volunteered with Southwest Schools for many years. Don and Vera donated land for Whitewater Valley Elementary, the Crosby Senior and Community Center, and many other organizations. The Southwest Local School District and the Harrison community is a better place because of the generosity of Don and Vera Evans. Finally, to cut ribbon, being held by board members Walter Shunk, Dr. Carol Roberts, and Mrs. Linda Peake, will be Joel McGuire, the mayor of Harrison, accompanied by his daughter Kelly, and City Councilman Ryan Ross, along with Athletic Director Mark Mivers. Without Mark's facility vision, time, dedication, and commitment through tough times, this project would not have been possible. Gentlemen, please go ahead and cut the ribbon. Thank you once again to the entire community, and we look forward to developing Phase 2 of the Century of Excellence Project. Ladies and gentlemen, to announce the winners of the Harrison Music Boosters 2014 Chevy Spark Raffle are our field commanders, Jennifer Spencer and Jeff Reiser.
The marching band would like to thank their support. The Harrison Music Program by sponsoring their short raffle. According to the raffle rules, in order for us to give away the Chevy Spark, we had to sell 2,000 tickets. Since we did not sell 2,000 tickets, we're around 50% of selling tickets.
We sold a total of $10,345 in raffle tickets. So tonight's winner will receive $5,172.50. Prior to coming to the field tonight, Jeff Dyson said I won one ticket. The winner of $5,172.50.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Bill Koontz Field, Harrison Wildcat Stadium, where we're at halftime, where the Northwest Knights hold a 14-12 lead over the Harrison Wildcats. There were special ceremonies this evening, which you probably saw during the halftime entertainment, and what happened was the Harrison Athletic Boosters Harrison school system, Southwest school system, was awarded the Century of Excellence from the NFL, the Cincinnati Bengals, and they received the 2014 NFL Club Matching Youth Football Grant that amounted to $150,000. So that was a very, very big announcement for Southwest schools and the Harrison Athletic Program. Real quick for stats, first half stats, once again with Northwest on top, 14-12. For the visiting Knights, Brandon Shelton was the leading rusher with 58 yards, followed by Shane Baldwin with 34 yards, and Corey McGinnis had 30 yards rushing. Brandon Shelton was 2 of 8 for 46 yards, his longest being 36 yards. And for the Harrison Wildcats, Jake Weber had 43 yards rushing, and Tylen James had 31 yards rushing. Jake Weber was 7 of 16 for 117 yards and a touchdown in the first half. And receiving, Tylen James led Harrison with 45 yards. So Harrison kicks off to start the second half, and the ball goes to Northwest. And with the ball for the Northwest Knights is Devon Jackson, and he's tackled immediately by a host of Harrison tacklers on the 25-yard line. So Northwest will take over with a 14-12 lead in the third quarter. And they will begin the second half with the lead and in possession of the football. For Northwest, they will start with both quarterbacks at quarterback in the first half. Both Shelton and Baldwin will be in the backfield for Northwest. And Baldwin keeps the ball, and he goes to the center of the field where he's stopped by Northwest. Tackle for Brandon Littleton was in on the tackle for Harrison. They'll bring up second and 8. Just starting the third quarter. And once again in the backfield for Northwest is Baldwin and Shelton. This time straight snap to Devon Jackson, and he's going to be run out of bounds by Harrison Mason Bruner. It's going to be short of the first down. It's going to be third down and long 1 yard. Ball's on the 36-yard line of Northwest. Early in the second half, this is a key defensive play for Harrison. Shelton goes under center and does the quarterback sneak, and it might be short. So Shelton is the carrier. Tackled by the front defensive line of Harrison, and I think they're going to call for a measurement. Looks like it is short. And with the ball on the 36, possibly the 37-yard line, I don't think this is any time for Northwest to take a chance on this short yardage play, because they're on their own 36, 37-yard line. The officials will call for a measurement. The scoring in the first half went like this. Garcia Alvarez had a 38-yard field goal, followed by a Mitchell Hogue safety, which put Harrison up 5-0 in the first quarter. Second quarter, Harrison scored on a 26-yard pass from Weber to Anderson and put the Harrison up 12-0. On the ensuing kickoff, Northwest came right back with a Shane Baldwin 87-yard kickoff return to make the score 12-7. And that was followed by, with 16 seconds to go late in the second quarter, with a Shane Baldwin 11-yard run that made the score 14-12 at halftime with Northwest on top. That's where we currently stand. So Northwest decided that it was short. They were short of the first down, and they've elected to punt. Alex Shebik is the punter for Northwest, and he'll be kicking the ball to Harrison, and the kick is short. And it goes out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. It looks like they're going to mark it at the 30-yard line, which Harrison will take over. First and 10 with 10:44 to go in the third quarter. So Jake Weber will lead the Harrison Wildcats out here in the second half. And they're hoping to get their offense going. Averaging 38 points a game. They've only scored 12. Walter Shunk, my sidekick today, he was down on the field to receive that special award we were talking about earlier of the $150,000 grant. So he's just making his way back up here, and Walter's rejoined us.
Well, it's going to be 34, and that's Mr. James, and he's going to get 4 yards out of it, Mike. So we're going to move it on over to the 35-yard line where it's going to be 2nd and 6. Unbelievable last part of the game, wasn't it? I had an opportunity to go down and talk to some of the fans, and the Harrison fans, they're ecstatic. They don't believe it. And the Northwest fans, they're excited.
Well, sure.
Of course, that's the way it should be. Okay, we got 2nd and 6. We're in the 34-yard line. It's the same offense we've seen the whole game. He's got plenty of time. Boy, that line's held it for Weber. He's got a man open, and you know that's his favorite receiver. It's going to be good enough for a first down. All the way up to the 48-yard line, it looks like.
Mitchell Hogue is the receiver on that tackle made by Northwest by Peyton Brown, along with Dion Goins. That puts the ball up to the almost to midfield, the 48-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be a new first down. I had an opportunity down there, Mike, to talk to a couple of your old friends. You may remember Chris Brown from Harrison, Ohio. And he says he'd like to talk to you before you leave. He said, where's he at? I says, he's doing the game by himself right now. Okay, it's going to be first down. Boy, Weber had some good protection. It's his favorite receiver. That's Hogan. He slipped. I mean, there's nobody near him, and he slipped. But he's going to be, looks like it up to the, I'm going to say the 42-yard line. I don't know if it's good enough for a first down or not.
No, I think he's going to be short.
Got a quick replay on this, too. They say it's first down, Mike. They're not even going to measure it. Here he goes. And he's scrambling back there. The line did a nice job. Passes over to Hogue over there. See where he slipped right there, trying to go around the corner?
It's getting slippery, it seems like, from the moisture from the night.
I'm just wondering if that's where the problem is, Mike. I agree with you. Okay, it's going to be 1st and 10. 42-yard line right up the middle. It's going to be James. I'm going to give him 3 yards, and I think that's all he's going to get.
Tackle for Northwest by James Dean and Brandon Sean.
I'm sorry about that. That was Anderson that carried the ball that time, Mike. I seen him jump up. Good for 2 yards, and that's all they're going to get out of it, Mike.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 8 for Harrison. Here in the third quarter, 8:50 in the third quarter. Northwest on top, 14-12.
Harrison trying to take the lead again. A field goal would give him a 1 point. Wide open. Nice pass. He's running over. He's going to get a first down. He's still running, but he steps out of bounds, it looks like, on the 30-yard line. Good enough for a first down.
Tylen James was the receiver, ran out of bounds by Larry Bruce, but that will be another first down for Harrison.
Seems like most of the success tonight, Mike, has come through the air for the Wildcats. And I give credit. I think the offensive line in Northwest, they've done their homework here. They know what's happening. They've stopped that running game pretty good. Harrison's going to throw again. If it works, throw it again.
Oh, almost intercepted.
My goodness. And I'm thinking that should have been intercepted. You know who that was? A kid by the name of Baldwin.
Shane Baldwin.
Yeah. He's the backup quarterback. He's also plays defense, too, and he's a good defensive player. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. Boy, oh boy, did they avoid a bullet there.
And he was
Maybe
actually
that's the wrong
open.
terms.
Jake just didn't get the ball to him fast enough. He was open.
Yes. I don't know if you've noticed, Mike, but use your summary here. His passes have been down a little bit this second half. So somebody's got him in the halftime and said, Jake, you're hurting.
Yeah, much better, yes.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
And he's getting good protection.
Yeah, he is. He's got a little room to run now. He's going to get 5 yards out of that. He's going to take it up to the 25-yard line. Boy, he just bowled his way through that one. Nice running play.
Tackle made by Brandon Sean, and Michael Smith for Northwest.
Right, I think we're in the 4-yard playing territory here right now because they're not going to get that extra. They're not going to get that extra 3 points from that area, I don't think. But we'll see what happens right now. It's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats. It's the same offense, too. They're going to have 3. And look at it over here. It looks like a diamond over here on the left side of where they're lined up. It's going to be a pitch out. He's got any room at all to move.
Didn't fool him at all.
Didn't fool anybody.
Nice job by James Dean.
Right.
For Northwest, on the linebacker from Northwest.
4th and 5. Now what's their decision? I think it'd be foolish to kick, but, you know, what do I know? We got a replay on this to see what happened here. And I'll tell you what, get a replay on this. They knew exactly what was coming up. They pitched it out, and he went nowhere.
On 4th down, Harrison is going to go for it, Walter.
Yes, I think it's the right call, to really be honest with you.
And Jake
He's
Weber's in trouble.
He's looking for some
Oh,
help.
wide open. Look at this.
And he dropped it right to him in the end zone, right to him.
Too wide open.
Yep, that might have been the problem. Well, it's going to be a turnover. So Northwest is going to take the ball over, and we'll see what they can do.
Mitchell Crawford, sophomore, was the intended receiver, and that's hard to go back to the sideline.
Here's the replay we got over here, Mike. You can see exactly what happened here. I just love this. Gives you an idea. Watch where it hits him. Well, you couldn't really see it there too well, but hit him right in the stomach as he's going backwards, and he knew he should have had it. But that's football. That's why we play it. Okay, it's going to be 1st and 10. Back is going to be Baldwin. He hands it off up the middle, and every Wildcat knew what he was going to do. He's going to be tackled by 3 or 4 Wildcats. Give him about 2 yards out of that, Mike. I think that's all he's going to get.
Corey McGinnis was the running back on that, and Shelton is back in at quarterback.
Yeah, they're going to give him 3 yards, so we're going to have to go with 3 yards. Officials stop it off at the 29-yard line where it's going to be 2nd and 7. Boy, 2 big plays with 3 minutes to go in the right before halftime. It's putting the Knights right on top of the board if you're watching the whole game. It's got a man wide open over there. It's right to him. And brought down immediately, but it's going to be good enough for a 1st down.
Malik Beverly was the receiver at that. Shelton with the nice pass.
See, is he brought down by Ward over there? Who brought him down? I think Ward did bring him down.
Cody Ward was in on the tackle for Harrison.
Yeah. Mike's going to interview. If you get a chance, Mike, you're going to interview him about halftime. Okay? Between quarters, step ready. We're going to get a couple yards out of that, and that's about all. Harrison pretty well had that one pegged. Give him 3 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 7. Here at halftime, I want you to stay with us here, not at halftime, between quarters here in a little bit. Got Mr. Miners up here, the one that's worked on this field, got the Wildcats these extra couple rows of track, and so much has been done up here. Mike's going to have a chance, hopefully, to talk to him real quick. As soon as we get a break in the action, right now it's going to be 2nd and 7 for Northwest. Looks like it's going to be number 25. Boy, he just busted right through. Only one man to stop him.
Once again, speed.
And they're not going to stop him. He just busted through. Touchdown, Northwest.
Devon Jackson.
Take it on down to make it 20. Boy, that's 20 unanswered points. And all on 3 big plays, Mike.
They all were big plays. Yes,
Yeah.
they were. And that's unusual to have that many big plays.
Yes, it is. I don't think Harrison was ready for any of this. Well, they're going to go for the extra point, of course. No need for 2 right now. That would give them a 9-point lead. There's the ball's down. He kicks up. To me, it looks good. We'll see what the men in the stripes say it is good. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Northwest Knights 21, Wildcats 12.
You know, the bulk of Northwest running is done by Corey McGinnis, who we've talked about tonight, and, of course, Devon Jackson, who just had that play.
Let's get a replay on that run. That was quite a run with 5 minutes, 26 seconds to go. You can see what happened here. Well, now we're talking. We're trying to get the rerun on that. Well, what a run that was. And once he broke through, he just picked up speed. It's like somebody shot him out of a cannon. And that's Jackson. Boy, look at him go. He just ran right away from those defenders of the Wildcats to take it in for the touchdown. You can see it on this instant replay. Okay, it's going to be with just 5 minutes, 26 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Kicking off for Northwest will be Shebick again. Back deep for Harrison is Mitchell Hogue and Gerald Smith.
Now, Smith isn't quite as fast as Hogue. And why they'll do this, I don't know, but they all do it. They'll kick it right to Hogue, Mike. Now you watch. Not that I'm not familiar with the game, but we'll see what happens here. Here's your kickoff. Not that good of a kickoff, to tell you the truth. He decided to pick it up. He's going to come back to the 25-yard line, 30-yard line, where they're going to send him down.
Well, Mitchell Hogue with the return. Tackle made by, for Northwest, made by Lloyd Witcher.
He's going to bring it back 10 yards. They're going to put it on the 30-yard line where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
And Harrison's been in this situation before this season, down by 9 points now, 21-12. But they don't think they've ever been in a situation where they only had 12 points going into almost the 4th quarter.
That's correct. Of course, you got to realize something. Northwest scored 14 in 3, what was it, 1 minute? Anything can happen. Uh-oh, he's got a little bit of room. But there is a flag on the play right in the area where it's holding. A nice run, 15-yard run back, but we'll see what the call is going to be.
That was Alex Anderson with the ball carry, and the official throws a flag, and I believe that's going to be holding based on the spot of the flag.
Yeah, we both feel the same way, and we'll find out. Yeah, we're both correct. So looks to me like it's going to be a 10-yard penalty, which is going to put them right back in that bad area again, where it's going to be 1st and 20. Got 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter, where 3 quick touchdowns by 2 right after with 3 minutes to go in the half. And now the Northwest Knights just scored another touchdown. This is a game they desperately need. Wildcats, of course, like to have it too. They're planning on going to the playoffs. They'd like to have this game. Okay, it's going to be 1st and 20 for the Wildcats. And they've used the same offensive play. 4 receivers.
Empty backfield for Harrison.
Yeah.
Intended receiver.
And, of course, again,
That was
Baldwin.
Mitchell Hogue.
Hogue, but Baldwin's over there on him. Was it Baldwin on him? I think it was, yeah. Baldwin broke the play up. Boy, he's been all over Hogue. Well, they know Hogue is their big receiver. He's their best receiver. And they're gonna put 2 men on him, and they have. It's going to be 2nd now and 20 for the Wildcats. All the way back on the 21-yard line. They use the same offense. They switch them around a little bit. They got 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 man in the backfield. Back in the shotgun is going to be Weber. Weber's the pass play all the way. He's got a man open, got a little bit of room to run. And there's a fumble, and there's going to be a recovery. And it's going to be by the Knights of Northwest. It is. On the 21-yard line of the Wildcats.
Ty McCowan caused the fumble for Northwest, recovered by Brandon Shawn. And we've called his name numerous times tonight. He's had another, just a real good ball game by Brandon. He and Baldwin, we've called their names a lot, along with Shelton and McGinnis, and those guys have done a nice job. Northwest is prepared very, very well for this game.
You certainly have. Well, if you're a Wildcat fan, I know you're here rooting to hold them. If you're a Northwest fan, you got to get in there and score again. Because when you got them down, you got to push them down. The game's getting very close to the 4th quarter. It's on the 21-yard line where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Knights.
Baldwin's at quarterback along with Shelton in the backfield.
Very unusual situation. Until they line up, you really never know what's going to go on. He's going to be a keeper and he's just going to walk it into the end zone. Touchdown.
That's speed right
Knights.
there. That's speed. I mean, there's no substitute for that. You can't teach that.
And he's a big kid too, so you're gonna have to get him down. You're gonna have to go for the legs, bring him down.
Yeah,
tackle him.
That's a gift right there. That's excellent speed. Northwest obviously has much more speed than Harrison does.
It's going to be the Knights 27, Wildcats 12, and the Northwest going to try to throw another point on the board. This will be 28 unanswered points, Mike, for the Knights of Northwest.
Shibik on for his 4th extra point of the night.
And the men in the stripes, they raise their arms. They're saying it's good. The score now is going to be the Knights of Northwest 28 and the Wildcats 12. Got a replay of that run he just made, Mike. And like you say, just strong strength and speed too. This is the little kid. This is a big boy right here. He's 200 and some pounds. Able to grab him, and he just kept his balance, and he just kept going. He knew there was daylight, and he took it to the house. Well, Harrison's going to get the ball again, and we'll see what happens this time, Mike, as the score runs up to 28-12.
Well, there's plenty of time left. They can score fast. They just haven't done it tonight.
correct.
I think Northwest's defense has done their job. They've studied their film, and they know what to expect, and they've done a nice job of exposing the weaknesses of Harrison. And this is going to be an interesting task for Harrison because they have a quarter and a half to go. There's a lot of time left, but yet they have not been successful in scoring tonight.
It's really funny, but I'm going to make it a little different. I'm going to call it a quarter and a quarter to go.
Quarter and a quarter. There
Let's
you
go quarter to quarter, okay? Okay, it's going to be the Wildcats to receive. Naturally, they're going to use Hogan in the backfield. And I don't know who they got with him back there, but Hogan's going to get the ball. It always works that way. It's kicked right to Hogan on the 15-yard line. He's back to the 20-25. He's going to move it on up. He's going to try to get to the 30. He's going to go to the 26, and that's where he's going to stop. Yeah, it looks like a flag down here on the left-hand side, Mike. I don't know what it was. There was 5 white jerseys and 1 black jersey. Hogue was over there, so I'm not just sure what happened. We'll find out in a minute. That's going to be against the Knights of Northwest. So it's on the 25-yard line, and they're going to bring it back 10 yards. 15 yards. Had to be something with a helmet, Mike.
That was a helmet-to-helmet call.
Okay.
And really, there was no place to go. He came in late,
yeah,
so that'll be 15 yards.
You know, what's a kid thinking when he does that? I know the emotion during the game, but, you know, you've played this game. You know, boy, that just cost a team. That puts Harrison in great field position. They're in the 40 with 1st and 10. They'll use their same offensive with 3 men on the right, 1 on the left, 1 in the backfield. It's a pass play all the way.
Intercepted.
Another interception right to him. That went right to Sean. And they're going to go over and take him out of bounds. No, they aren't either. He's still running all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Well, like I just said, once again, Northwest very, very prepared. Oh, no, this doesn't need to happen. Very, very
Flags
prepared.
are falling everywhere.
Northwest is exactly, they know where they should be. And let's look at that real quick. And let's look at the replay.
Boy, and he was right at the right place. And that's Sean, and he's got a little bit of room, got a blocker in front of him. Boy, he's using him well, isn't he? I thought he went out of bounds there at the 20. But now here's where the hassle starts. So they're down here trying to figure out what they're going to do. We got a Harrison player down.
What I was saying earlier is that their defensive players are in the right spots. They've studied the film. They know where they're supposed to be. They're sticking with their assignments, and that's an example right there. We called Brandon's name so many times tonight. With Brandon Shawn with the interception right there, and Northwest has done a phenomenal job of scouting and preparing and following through on their assignments tonight.
Sorry to go over the top of you. Sure. Here we go, Mike. We got her right here in front of you.
Once again, a reminder, when you can see this replay of this game tonight, the Northwest versus Harrison game, you can see it tonight at midnight on TWC Channel 4 and C-Bell 834. Tomorrow at noon, same channels. Then on Sunday, 6 p.m., TWC 24 channel. Monday at 8:30 p.m. on Channel 4 and 8:34, and on Thursday at 10 a.m. on Channel 4. Those are your replay dates for that. ICRC-TV and social media, you can find us on Facebook, you can follow us on Twitter, and you can watch us live on live stream. ICRC-TV, thank you very much for coming out to Harrison tonight and for all the things you guys do. Big hello out there to the guys in the booth, all the people running the cameras, and all the production staff. Thank you for making our job so much better and easy for tonight.
We got 2 injured players on that. Their quarterback, Jake Weber, was injured, and also we got 71 Jordan Young. He was injured on that play. And that Jordan Young, he's a big boy too, sophomore. And they said Weber was hit too on it. So I'm not just sure.
Well, after the penalties, after it was all sorted out, Northwest is going to have the ball on the 43-yard line. with a 28-12 lead and 4 minutes to go.
I don't know if Weber's going to be able to go back in the game. We'll find that out later. Right now, Northwest got the ball on the 43-yard line. The penalty was against Northwest. I'm not sure what. It's a handoff up the middle. It's going to be good for 3 yards. Really didn't fool anybody, but he's going to get 3 yards out of the play all the way down to the 41-yard line where it's going to be 2nd and 7. Mike, I'm just not sure what all those penalties were about. I've seen so many flags go, I couldn't believe it.
Well, when you have something like that, you're going to have a lot of penalties, and it's hard to sort them out. And usually the second guy gets caught, and in this case, once again, there were so many flags, it was hard to figure that out. But the penalties, the actual penalties went against Northwest. So we're back to live action here.
Right now it's going to be 2nd and 7 for the Knights. They're on the 41-yard line. They got a couple men in the backfield. It goes to number 25, and he's just going to grab the ball, take it right on down to the 35-yard line.
Straight snap to Javon Jackson.
They did that once before, if you remember, and he took the ball, and they couldn't stop him. He just blew right through him. This time he's going to be all the way down to the 35-yard line where it's going to be 3rd and 3. I think also the Knights now are in four-down territory. I don't think they'll kick from here, and they're too far out for a field goal, Mike. They don't make this.
No, they're definitely gonna go for. You'll see them go for 4th down here, particularly if they have a chance to add another score.
Well, we've had 3 quarterbacks here. It's going to be a pitch out to 25. They all know he's going to shoot off to the right-hand side. Now, if he went out of bounds, it's over. If he didn't, it's a touchdown. So we're going to find out what happened over there.
There's also a penalty flag on the field.
There is. I didn't see that. Where was it? Pens are, they're all over there looking to see what's going on.
25 took the direct snap and took off.
That's Jackson again. He's done this a couple times. It's a good play. When you see Jackson back there, you know he's not going to hand off or pass it. He's going to keep it. It's a keeper usually. The officials are talking it over. We'll see what happens. They're moving back. Northwest kind of feels they did something wrong. I usually look at the players and try to pin things out of here, Mike. Harrison's not sure what happened. So the officials are all getting together over there. They're going to discuss it, and we'll find out in a couple minutes. They're talking with the head coach of the Knights over there. I'm sure they'll come across the field and explain it to the Harrison Wildcat coach. And with just 2 minutes and 42 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. And I want you to stay tuned between halves here. We got Mr. Miners here, if I'm not mistaken. And Mr. Miners, we're going to talk to him a little bit about this project. Man, what a project he had out here at the Wildcat Country. Came up with, well, we're going to let the interview tell him exactly how much money. And Mike's going to give him fill you in on everything that he's done out here. Right next to the cornfield out here in Harrison, Ohio. Score right now is 28-12. Harrison scored 12 points through the first half with 3 minutes to go to halftime. Within 3 minutes, Northwest Knights, and if you're watching the whole game, you watched it. They scored 14 points that half with 3 minutes to go and 14 minutes in the 3rd quarter here, which makes it 28-12. Now it's going to be 3rd and 3 on the 35-yard line. Weren't we just here a minute ago, Mike? Looks like we're going to play the whole thing over.
Well, they gave Nate Mahan, the coach of Northwest Knights, got the explanation he wanted. Now they're giving the same explanation to Kent McCullough, the head coach of Harrison.
Now, the only one that hasn't had an explanation is up here in the press box. We don't have a clue.
Well, the ball did not move. It's still 3rd and short.
Right. 25 there. They're going to hike it. And he fumbles the ball. He goes down on it. And, boy, there's a loss on that one.
Well, direct snap to McGinnis.
Yep.
Or, I'm sorry, Javon Jackson again.
Yeah, it was Jackson. And you know when Jackson's there, it's going to be 4th and 8. When he gets the ball, he don't like to hand off, Mike, and he don't want to throw it. He wants to run the ball. But you can't run it if you haven't got the football. There's a rule into the game here. You got to have the ball. They've decided to kick the ball. They're not going to try to go with 4th and 8. We got, I think, is that Hogue back there? Back on the 10-yard line. Here comes the kick. It was almost blocked. He don't want no part of it.
Well, it's going to fall dead on about the 15-yard line of Harrison, which they'll take over. With 1:59 to go, 28-12. Northwest on top of Harrison in the 3rd quarter.
Well, it's been an exciting ball game. Wildcat Knight fan, we don't care. It's been an exciting game. Wildcats pretty well control it, then the Knights control it. But the last quarter is going to decide who the winner is. Right now, the Wildcats got a lot of work if they're going to come back. They trail this game by 16 points, and according to my calculations, they're going to have to score twice and score 2 points each time. That's an easy mathematical figure.
Yes.
Yeah, the AD's going to come in between the quarter here.
So here we go. Jake Weber back in the backfield. Handoff.
Jake's back in the game. We didn't know he got hurt in that one big play over there. He's going to run up to the 21-yard line. It's going to be a 6-yard gain on that, Mike. It's going to be 2nd and 4. Not a bad run.
Tackle made by Cortez McInnes of the Northwest Knights. Bring up 2nd and 4 for Harrison. Send out 3 wide to the right.
And, of course, 1 to the left, and they've got 1 man in the backfield. This is the way they played the game. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Young man's going to get first down plus all the way up to the 35-yard line. And I believe that's going to be
that's Alex Anderson for Harrison. Picks up the first down.
Well, that was a nice run, too. He just made a shotgun move right through the line. They didn't even have time to react to that. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Wildcats on the 35-yard line. That play earlier here about 2 minutes ago in the action, Weber was hurt. Here's a handoff. Same man. He's going to get another first down all the way into Knights territory. Takes it all the way down to the 47-yard line of the Knights.
So another first down for Harrison with a minute 11 to go.
Last home game here on Harrison Field. They got their field looking pretty good out here tonight, Mike. They haven't brought that up very much, but they don't have AstroTurf here in Harrison. They just got plain old grass. I always felt that's the way the game should be played anyway, but who am I to say? That was a real close one. Everybody in the place knew what was going to happen. So,
tackle made by Michael Smith for Northwest on that play. 2nd down, long 9. The 3rd quarter is winding down here. Harrison should probably get another play off.
We got Anderson in the backfield. They go with 4 wide receivers ever play a handoff to Anderson. He's got some room to run. So he opens it up. Boy, he's down to the 30, 25, 15-yard line. What a run by Anderson. He just shot up the middle. There's a hole up the middle we could drove the car through, Mike.
Those were 3 nice runs by Alex Anderson for Harrison, which stops the clock with 18 seconds to go to move the change in high school football. So they will get another playoff.
Boy, that was a quick play, but everybody figured what was happening here. Anderson's brought down immediately. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him a yard on the play, Mike, and that's it.
That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter.
We're going to see the replay on that big run here, Mike. And that was a nice run. Watch him as he shoots right through the first line. Once he gets through there, he's got a little open area. Right there, that was the important part. Once he's seen that light there, then he's gone.
So after 3 quarters of play, Northwest is on top of the Harrison Wildcats 28-12. And at this time, we would like to interview the athletic director at Harrison High School, Mark Mivers, in his first year as athletic director. And Mark, why don't you give us an overview of exactly what is going on out here with the athletic field, and then I'll let you touch a little bit on the announcement that was made at halftime, the significant announcement that was made at halftime for the Southwest local school. So give us an overview of what you've been doing here with this athletic facility.
Well, last year was the 100th year of Harrison High School athletics. So as a booster group, we met and decided that we wanted to do something unique and special to celebrate 100 years of heritage out here, and thus born the Century of Excellence facility renovation campaign, which essentially we looked at the lighting here at the stadium, the track, irrigation, our practice fields. I mean, you kind of name it, we've done it, and we encompassed it all, within that one project.
So the expansion took place with the new lighting and the track that was desperately needed. I don't even think it was a legal track, and you had hard times getting teams to come in here and play because of the track. Everything looks beautiful. The whole setup that you've done, everything is just phenomenal what you've done. Tell us how the process was to go ahead and raise money on this event.
Well, I mean, we appreciate it. I mean, basically the process here, we'll go ahead and let's go ahead and announce this. The Wildcats just scored.
Jake Weber on a keeper around the end for a touchdown. That's going to bring them within a touchdown. We'll see if they go for 2 here. But tell us the process that you did. You started a campaign to raise money, and what was the initial estimate cost of this project?
Our initial estimate was $400,000. That's what we were looking at as our goal number. And basically, we started door-to-door, grassroots, meeting with our parents, meeting with our teams, meeting with local businesses to get people on board in regards of pledging money over the next 4 years to help us basically pay for the loan that the athletic boosters have taken out from Main Source Bank. And the response was incredible. We knew after about the first 2 months we were going to knock it out of the park. And here we sit, basically 15 months later, and the construction was all done over the summer. We put a timetable together with our construction crews and everybody that was donating their time and effort. And here we sit tonight with a big announcement and kind of putting the icing on the cake to the project and what our community has done to pull together to make sure our students and our athletes and everybody here knows we've got the best.
Well, you have a great community out here. They're very giving, they're very caring. They love their athletics out here, particularly football. And I know the task is never easy, but for them to be as generous as they are has to be a big feather in your hat, because you were able to guide them and lead them and teach them that this is what we need, this is what we want, will you help and participate? And by golly, they've answered. Real quick, Harrison is going to go for 2. Northwest called a timeout because of the offensive alignment that Harrison was in, so we're going to watch that go for 2. And then I got one other question I want to ask you before we let you get away here, as this game has gotten closer here in the 4th quarter. So here we go for 2. Harrison, Jake Weber's in the backfield.
Mike, looks like it's going to be a keeper for him. He's trying to find a little hole to get through. He dives, but is he in? And he is in for the 2 points.
Well, we got
Jake
a flag.
Weber takes it in, but we got a flag, he says. We'll find out who the flag's on. Well, 1 second, it looks like they get 2 points, and then all of a sudden a flag comes up. I'm still not sure what the call is here, Mike. Usually, and it was in a position where holding is called. That's what they're doing, I think, Mike. They're going to call it holding. Bring it all the way back to the 10-yard line where the holding took place. So we'll find out what the Wildcats are going to do now. What the attempt here is to get the extra 2 points to get them within 8 points of the final here.
Well, I think you have to go for 2. If you go for 1, then you have
right.
2 scores you've got to make up, and you may not get enough. But in high school, with under 12 minutes, you're not going to have enough time possibly to get your hands on the ball for 2 more times. So they really have to go for the 2 here.
And that's, of course, what they're calling. It's going to be on the 11-yard line. Apparently, holding, I would say, was on the 1-yard line, and I'm only guessing here, guys. I think, Mr. Mivers, you've done some work before on a mic too, haven't you, before on these ball games?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He's looking for somebody open. It's over in the corner. Has he got room? No, he hasn't. Incomplete. And it will go for naught, Mike.
So it's 28-18 with 11:52 to go in the 4th quarter. And Harrison will be kicking off Northwest. Lastly, Mark, tell us about the big announcement tonight and how all that came about.
The announcement we had tonight is the NFL Foundation, along with the Cincinnati Bengals, contacted us actually Friday before the start of the Ross game to let us know that we were the recipients of a $150,000 grant. And that grant comes again from the NFL Foundation and the Cincinnati Bengals. Basically, that process started again about 15 months ago when we met as a committee and a booster group. We wanted to look at grant opportunities. We heard about the wonderful things that Taylor High School did with getting an NFL grant to put in their turf. And we just started beating the bush with the Bengals and making some calls and doing research, and we got great people on board. Julie Eisen was our grant writer, and obviously Brian Knauer and Patty Van Cleve are our booster president and treasurer, and they stepped up to the plate along with Robin Nallen. And basically we got the right people in the right spot and presented our information, and they loved it. They loved our idea. They loved our vision for what Harrison High School athletics is going to look like for the next 100 years. And we were fortunate enough and blessed for Adam to come out and present us with the check tonight. So basically, this is going to allow us to move into what we're calling now the Century of Excellence Phase 2.
Oh, awesome.
And we're going to be able to expand on the project because we've raised $470,000 roughly in donations now on pledges, and we're going to tack on an extra $150.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
The beat goes on for us, and we're going to continue to push and do great things for our students and our athletes. And we're just blessed to have great people and be in a great community.
Well, you're doing a great job. You've got it's when you're successful, you surround yourself with good people, and you have good people around you. You walked into big shoes. Mike Shearing left as athletic director 20-plus years and laid a good foundation for you. And Mike is a wonderful person and did a wonderful job as athletic director. But now you've got your hands full, and you've taken on the task, and you've really just kicked it up a notch.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well, you have, and it shows here tonight as you look at this stadium. It's just an unbelievable thing. So we thank you for coming up and joining us. Good job on all the announcements. Good job on the work. Like I say, this stadium is just beautiful, and you've done a wonderful job with that.
Well, thank you very much, and we appreciate you guys coming out and enjoy the rest of the game.
Thanks, Mark. Good luck to you.
Thanks, Mark. Right now, I'm going to tell you, Jackson brought it back to the 41-yard line where it's going to be, and that's going to be Baldwin over there, and he's going to key, and he's still running. He's got a first down plus. He's going to go all the way down to the 38-yard line where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Northwest Knights.
Well, if Harrison has any chance, Walt, they've got to stop Northwest, obviously, and that's not happened tonight.
Well,
and here's some statistics just to show that. They have 218 yards rushing, Northwest does, to 152 for Harrison. Now, Harrison has 152 yards passing, but the time of possession and the first downs have all gone the way of Northwest and the big plays. We talked about that earlier, all the big plays.
Well, here's something, Mike, we didn't really think about. They'd have went for 1 point. All they could do now with a field goal and a touchdown is tie the game up.
Right.
So
that's what I'm saying. 2 scores it's tough. So
yeah. Well, anyway, right now it's going to be, and he's going to get 5 yards out of that. and again, that's going to be
Stephon Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson's going to run the ball, get it all the way down to the 35-yard line, where it's going to be second, and we're going to say 2nd and 6 on the play for the Knights.
Another score here, and Harrison's got an uphill battle. There's just no doubt about that. They've got to get a stop if they have a chance to stay in this ball game.
Seemed like the first half, almost the whole first half, Harrison pretty well had them stopped. And boy, once the Knights got going, they had one big play after another.
The touchdown was the kicker. I mean, that's really the one that just turned it around for him.
It's going to be 2nd and 6. It's going to be a handoff or a keeper by Baldwin. He's going to make a couple more yards on it, take him all the way down to the 33-yard line.
Matt Watson was the initial stop on that for
So
Harrison.
it's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Knights. You got a player down on the field. It's one of the Knights.
I can't
Northwest.
see what
I
the
can't
number
see either,
is.
Mike. I'll tell you in a minute. I can't get a number either. Also, one of the things here at Harrison is these lights. They just put all brand new lights up. We used to have 3 on both sides, if I'm not mistaken. Last time I was here, is that correct?
Technology's changed. It's really
Yes.
unbelievable the amount of light you can get with a single
Yeah.
pole.
Well, actually, I really believe they probably got twice the lighting now they had. Those were the original lights, Mike, from way back in 1959, I was told,
Oh, my goodness.
that were put up here. The first time they got new lights. And they had to get special permission to put these lights up because they wanted them up at this height. It has something to do with the airport next door.
Yeah, the proximity.
Right, and they were able to get that, and so it's worked perfect.
The injured player was Shane Baldwin, which is
Boy,
huge for Northwest.
Yeah, that is.
His name's been called many times tonight.
Right. Well, it's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Knights. It's going to be placed on the 33-yard line.
In the
Baldwin's going to
backfield,
be out.
yeah, in the backfield is Devin Schnurr, and I haven't seen his. In fact, his uniform's pretty white. I haven't seen him back there yet tonight. And Shelton's back in at quarterback
Yeah,
for
he's
Northwest.
going to take the hike. He's going to be a keeper all the way, and they didn't fool anybody. My gosh, Harrison was ready for that. Yep. The one that brought him down right away, Mike's going to be Silcox. Nathan brought him down. He was waiting for that play. It's going to be 4th and 2, and we'll see what the Knights do. Are they going to kick? You're kind of in 4-down territory here, Mike. So what do? You got a big lead. You got a 10-point lead. Do you take the chance, or do you kick it and put them back in the thing? If you kick the ball 32, they bring it out to the 20. How much do you gain, Mike?
Yeah. they're going to go to one of their go-to plays. They've had a couple big plays up the middle. McGinnis and Devon Jackson both have had big running plays, and I think they're going to call a timeout and talk about it a little bit. There's 9:55 to go in the fourth quarter with Northwest on top 28-18. And just going over some of the three-quarter stats that we have with Jackson leading.
He's got to have quite a few yards.
He has 67 yards on 7 carries. And Shelton has 59 yards. Shane Baldwin has 57 yards, and McGinnis has 35 yards for Northwest.
What's Wildcats got running? Can you check
Alex
this out?
Anderson had a good third quarter. He had those 3 nice runs. He has 70 yards, and Jake Weber has 48 yards. And Tyler James has 34 yards. Weber's 11 for 24 for 152 yards. And Northwest only passed the ball 10 times. They're 3 of 9, so you probably won't see a pass here. So I think it's going to be something, they're going to spread the field out, they're going to put somebody in motion, and they're going to run the football here if they decide to go for it.
I think what you're going to look for Baldwin or Jackson, either one of them, and they're not going to hand off, Mike. They don't like giving the ball away. You snap it to them, and that's the name of the game. We'll find out in just a minute.
Well, it's going to be Shelton's in the quarterback. Baldwin's back on the field. So his injury was short-lived.
Well, it's going to be 4th down and only 2 to go.
And McInnes is the quarterback, 25.
Right, and he don't like handing it off either.
No,
and he's going to shoot right through for the first down.
Yeah.
That was my prediction. He would be the first shot. Second would be Baldwin. Baldwin coming in hurt, so Sheldon would be the right one.
Yeah.
And I think Harrison knew it too. They just couldn't stop him. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the 26-yard line for the Knights.
Jackson has good speed, good size, good speed. He's 5'9", 190. I mean, just a nice-looking running back.
They take Baldwin out over there. I think he's still a little bit hurt yet from that one play. Well, you're right about this. There's only 9.5 minutes remaining in the ball game, and what they're trying to do is the clock's in Northwest favor right now.
Yeah, and they're not going to pass the ball, not when they can run it.
Absolutely not. Okay, here we go. And it's 25, and he drops it again. That ain't the first time he's dropped it.
They've lost that. He lost that. Oh, he did recover it. Oh, my gosh. I thought that.
Boy, he got hit hard.
It's
going to be a loss of 3 on the play. And, of course, that's Jackson. That's the second time they've done that to Jackson. That's a bad snap, Mike. I don't blame Jackson for that. They placed it on the 30-yard line, so it's going to be a loss of 4 on it. So it's going to be 2nd and 14. They haven't played us very much in this game. They're a running team. They like to run it. They got a couple good runners. They got Jackson, Baldwin. It's going to be a keeper again. Boy, they like those keepers as he goes up the middle. Baldwin again, all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Well, once again, the speed stands out in my eyes. I mean, those 3 running backs, Shane Baldwin and Jackson.
It isn't. They're not going to give him a first down on it. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Boy, he was real close to the first down. My guess is they're going to let Jackson have it again. He's going to hit him right up the middle. And coming back in the lineup, Shelton again. So with 3rd and 1, it's going to be Shelton, your quarterback. That's going to be a keeper all the way, but of course we're just guessing here, of course. And another good guess is he takes it right up the middle. Looks like a first down for the Knights. He moves into the 13-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Knights as they just keep moving and they keep sucking that clock up. We're down to 7 minutes and 50 seconds, Mike.
Yeah, there's not much Harrison can do to stop the clock from running. And
we're sitting over here on the Harrison side, and you can hear a pin drop over here, Mike. The fans are pretty well depressed over here on the Harrison side. Northwest, they feel pretty good. They know they got their 6th win, or they feel they got their 6th win. This game's not over yet.
Well, this will be huge for them if they can hold on to win this game, which it looks like they're going to.
Right.
This is going to be huge in their favor.
And it's Baldwin back in the back, and he's always a keeper, and he just runs right up the middle. I think he takes it in for a touchdown.
He does. That's a score.
Yeah, Baldwin takes it in.
He's a good-looking running back.
Yeah, he takes it 14 yards for a touchdown for the Knights. That's going to put 34 on the board for the Knights with only 7 minutes and 15 seconds to go.
Yeah, those 3 guys, all 3 of those the running backs, Devon Jackson, Brandon Shelton, Shane Baldwin, and even Corey McGinnis. They have over 200 yards in rushing. They've done a nice job tonight, a real nice job. They're up 34-18, and I know no one expected this to be this score.
Harrison never expected this at all, I don't think. Harrison's had a great year, 6-2, and boy, they thought this was it. The kick's up. Is there a flag out there?
Well, what's kind of nice about this too, it's turned into a nice little rivalry between last year and this year. It's turned into a nice little rivalry, and they're so close to one another. You know, it's nice conferences, nice tight conference with the schools in this conference.
Correct.
The proximity of the schools is really, really good for everybody. You don't have a lot of travel, and that always helps, not just in football and basketball, but all those nights that you send the baseball team out and the soccer team out and all those kind of things for those long bus rides, and you don't have to worry about that because all the schools in this conference are so close together.
I would agree with you on that, Mike. Point was good, so we got a brand new score here. It's going to be the Knights from Northwest 35, Wildcats 18. Now get this, the Wildcats have been outscored 35-6, Mike. That is an unbelievable statistic, okay? I got to give credit here, too, to ICRC. Boy, they do a great job here. We can announce all we want, but if you don't have the replays, if you're not watching this game, I mean, if you haven't got the cameramen doing a great job, it just don't work, and they do a super job. It's just great working here for them and watching them get the job done. Okay, the Wildcats are going to receive. Naturally, they're going to have Mitchell Hogue back there waiting for it, and Smith in the backfield. And I don't know why. I'll say it again, Mike. They're going to kick to Hogue. I don't have a clue why. The best runner Harrison's got, no kick right to him. Now, see, it was me. I'd kick to Smith. He picks it up. Almost went out of bounds. He picks it up an extra 3 yards.
So the ball's out on about the 26. Mitchell Hogue was the receiver, was the returner on that. And Harrison will take over with 7:13 to go. Down 35-18. They'll have the ball in their own territory.
He was hoping it was going to go out of bounds, Mike, but we had a couple Northwest players right there ready to pick it up, and he had no choice. Only brought it back a couple yards. I think he picked it up, like, let's say, on the 24-yard line. Give him a couple yards, and a long way for the Wildcats to go as they trail this game by a lot of points. Okay, here we go. It's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Same offensive line, one man in the backfield. I think that's James. And he's going to be a handoff. He's going to get a couple yards, and that's going to get all he gets. Give him 2 yards on the play.
That's Alex Anderson carrying the ball for Harrison. Tackle made by Larry Bruce for Northwest. 2nd down and 8. They got to throw the ball. The only way they can score is to throw the ball.
And the pass is complete. He's going to go up for a 1st down and walk out of bounds. Pass was complete.
That was Gerald Smith on the reception there by Jake Weber's pass.
He had 5 receivers out there, and the line's holding them back. They're giving Weber a little time to throw the ball. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the 39-yard line. It's going to be Weber in the backfield. Throwing the ball. He's got... Boy, the pass was right on the money, but it was broken up over there. I'm saying it's broken up by Bruce over there. Larry Bruce breaks it up.
Intended receiver was Larry Sanders on that for Harrison. Gerald Smith, intended receiver.
Well, it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. They're going to hand it off up the middle. I know you don't like to hear that, Mike, because they're not going to gain anything. You get 2 or 3 yards. And that ain't going to get it done. That isn't going to get it done. I know as an English prof, we don't want to get into that area.
Well, I mean, it's just they got to hurry up. That's all I'm saying with the clock running.
Yeah, well, they're only going to get 2 yards out of that, so it's going to be 3rd and 7. 6 minutes and 17 seconds to go. He's got a man wide open. Can he go to the 1st down? He is not going to make it. He's going to go up to the 40-yard line, and we'll give him the 41. It's going to be 2 yards short of a 1st down.
Tackle made by Peyton Brown of Northwest on that. Nice job.
There's not a question on it. They're going with 4th and 2. They have to. Time's elapsed, and they're out of time. It's going to be a keeper by Weber, and he isn't going anywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Knights are covering him. Turn the ball over to the Northwest Knights. First guy that got to him over there, I'm going to say number 57. That's Covert. Delton, I think, was the first one to bring him down, but that didn't fool anybody, Mike. They kind of expected that.
Well, and this puts a situation. I mean, this is obviously the ball game with 5:51 to go. Northwest is going to run the football. They're going to run this 5 minutes off, and then they're going to go get on the bus and go home and have be 6-3 and a big win at Harrison.
And Harrison's going to be the same, 6-3. So next week, the final game of the year, it's going to make a big decision on who's going to the playoffs. Harrison's probably got a little bit better shot because they're going to Edgewood territory, and don't count Edgewood out. They've got a pretty good ball team up there, I'm told. But Mount Healthy has got a good ball team. I think they're undefeated, Mike, if I'm not mistaken, this year.
Well, it'll be a good contest between Northwest and Mount Healthy simply because of the speed factor. That both teams are very quick, and both teams put a lot of yards up on the board. But the thing about this win for Northwest, it gets them in the hunt a little bit in the Harbins. What it does for Harrison, it knocks them probably out of any kind of chance to host a home game. They would have had this win tonight, and they would have had help from somebody else that they've already beaten to finish in one of those top 4 slots and host a home game in the first round of playoffs. This is not going to knock them out of the playoff hunt, but it's surely going to drop them down to where they'll be traveling in their first week. And like I mentioned earlier, Walter, it's not good. When you look at the top 4 teams in the Division 2, Region 6, you're talking about Mount Healthy, you're talking about LaSalle, you're talking about Kings, and you're talking about Lima Senior.
Yes.
That's a 3-hour trip.
Yes.
And you're going to go up there and play one of them. And those teams are all good. And outside of LaSalle, those teams are all undefeated too. So
that was McGinnis they handed off to, Mike. He just went right up the middle for 3 yards. They're doing exactly what you predicted. I would have thought the same thing. They're going to run the ball. Why would you want to throw the ball? You got 5.5 minutes remaining. You got good field position on the 42-yard line. Why would you want to throw the ball?
Every time it's 52 from here on out. 52.
So I'm not even sure who the quarterback is right now. They switching them around so quick.
Shelton's back in there now. They're going to do some straight runs, straight handoffs. Well, that's Baldwin that took that ball. See, they're just running time off the clock.
He's going to pick up 1 yard in the play. Why would you want to get out of bounds if you're Northwest too? I don't quite understand that, but
no, they didn't call him out of bounds. He went down.
No, but he's headed for the out of bounds. That's correct. Clock's still ticking. It's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Knights. They're going to be on the 41-yard line. This is really a shock. The Harrison was outscored 35-6 with 2 minutes remaining in the first half. It's kind of a shocker for Harrison. The fans, you can hear a pin drop over here. If you're listening to the fans over here on the north side of well, it's going to be up the middle.
That's Corey McGinnis on that carry.
I don't know. I think he's got a first down there too. Boy, he just carried a couple Wildcats through there too.
Well, once again, I mean, Harrison has all 3 of their timeouts, but there's no reason to use them.
He's within 1 foot. It's going to be 4th and 1. They'll keep the ball with 4 minutes remaining. They got all 4 of their big runners in there right now, Northwest has. And bringing in the play for Northwest is going to be Brandon Sherm. Well, wouldn't you think it'd be a run right here, Mike?
Oh, yeah. They're going to keep the ball on the ground. There's no doubt about that.
In fact, I can understand that happen. You want to eat up all the clock you can. It's going to cost you 5 yards, where it's going to be 4th and 6 now. Just 3 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the ball game. Wildcats are trailing by 17 points here as we get close to the end of the ball game. Ball set right on the 40-yard line. And got a whistle. Is there timeout or what's happening here, Mike? There's a flag on the play.
Well, I think it's going to be on the Northwest bench. I have no idea what the coach could be complaining about.
I don't understand that either. Well, they're calling another delay of game. It's 5 yards again. Now it's going to be 4th and 11.
Well, they're hurrying up and getting up to the ball. The bad thing about that is the clock stops when they do that. So
yeah. So we got a new quarterback.
Look at this. Left-handed quarterback comes in.
And dropped the ball.
Wide open.
Oh, my goodness.
Jackson.
That was Jackson, and he just left it go through his arms. Oh, my goodness. He had passed up everybody, too. Well, the Wildcats are going to take over 1st and 10 on the 45-yard line. Well, that would – you talk about a play. You just – I see the fans from Harrison now slowly leaving. Everybody's staying on the northwest side. We got 3 minutes and 34 seconds, but the Wildcats take over. That was a nice pass. Who actually was a new quarterback? 14. Who was that? Who was quarterback?
That was Devin Schnurr. He's a junior. A little left-hander came in, just lofted the ball down the sidelines.
It was a perfect pass, Mike.
Perfect pass.
That's the first pass of the game for the youngster. Okay, it's still going to be Weber in there. He's looking for somebody open. He's going to throw it deep. He's got 2 men wide open. 7-2. On the right-hand side over here, the Wildcats had Crawford, and Crawford had nobody near him. They put 3 guys on
Mitchell Hogue.
Hogue, yeah. Well, he's their favorite receiver. They pretty well figured he was going to go with Hogue.
And Deion Goins.
Yeah,
Goins
but
was on
Crawford here. He didn't have anybody. People weren't even watching him. Okay, here we go again. We're going to be 2nd and 10. Again, it's a pass play. Then they're all over. Weber gets a break loose. He's going to throw the ball. Incomplete. I'm not sure who that was intended for. They're claiming it was intended for Hogue, and he wasn't anywhere near the ball.
Once again, Mitchell Crawford was wide open, but remember, Mitchell was the one that dropped the ball in the end zone wide open. It would have made a big difference in this ball game.
Yes, it would have.
At that point.
At that point, it would have. Because everything has to be played different, Mike, when you get a little more behind than you do. Okay, now it's going to be, they got 2nd. I thought it was 3rd and 10. Yeah, we'll use that sign over there. Right now they're saying 2nd and 10. I'm thinking it's 3rd and 10. Weber's got good protection so far.
I don't know who he's throwing to there either. I guess Mitchell Hogue.
He was throwing to Hogan.
They threw a flag.
Well, McGinnis pushed him. It was very obvious. I was right down here. You could see that right in front of us here, Mike. McGinnis pushed Hogue, and they threw a flag right away. Yeah. It was number 2. So, and I was right. It was 3rd and 10. So I think they're going to get a first down out of that, if I'm not mistaken.
It's an automatic first down.
Yeah. Move the ball up.
See, going back to that 5-minute mark when I told you all they have to do is run the football, and what happened? They didn't run the football. They got 2 delay of game penalties, which stopped the clock both times, and they turned the ball over.
Yep.
Northwest should have ran the football and kept the clock moving. Now Harrison's in their territory, got a chance to score. There's still a lot of time left, but not enough for Harrison.
Well, that was Anderson again, and he gets 5 yards, but 5 yards isn't going to get it done here, Mike. They're down to the 35-yard line, the Wildcats are, where it's going to be 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats. Weber in the back, looking for a receiver. Looks like I seen holding there, but the officials didn't. Throws it in the end zone to Hogue. Did he catch it, though? Yes! Hogue held it! Touchdown, Wildcats! With 2 minutes and 41 seconds, a completion to Hogue. Double teamed. Looks like he got the wind knocked out of him or something. Well, I don't know. He's running off the field, Mike. Maybe he's not hurt as much as we think.
And Jake Weber made that play happen, just his scrambling ability and ability to keep the defenders away from him for a chance to find Hogue in the end zone. And good pair of hands by Hogue.
You got to understand, though, he had 2 men on him, Mike. Hogue did. It's like the pros, where you get 2 men on him and throws it right in between them. Well, I guess now they're going to go for 2.
Well, they have to go for 2.
They sure as heck are. No, they aren't. They're going for the extra point, Mike. I was just wondering about that. That'll make it a 10-point game.
And it really doesn't matter. Yeah, you're right. They still have to score twice.
Yeah. That was a wild thing right there. You see what this does, though? You don't need a touchdown and a touchdown. Now you need a touchdown and a field goal to go to overtime. We got a replay on that pass. This is great to see. Double coverage on Hogue. Now watch this. And Weber's going to lay it right in between everybody. There he is. Double teamed, and he held on to it. Well, what a reception. Well, that makes the score Northwest 35, Wildcats 25. Well, I don't know how to explain this, Mike, but are we going to see an offside kick? What's your expertise in this area?
They got to get the ball back, and there's not a lot of time left. I mean, he's got to take a chance. I mean, they haven't held Northwest all night, so them holding them and getting the ball back is not going to happen, and there don't be enough time to score. So they've got to try the onside kick.
I'm in total agreement. That offside kick, it's hard to make that work. They got 5 guys right in the front line up there and 4 behind him. That's 9 right there waiting for an offside kick. Everybody quiet. It sure was an offside kick. Give Northwest Knights, they were ready for it. I think everybody in the stadium knew what was going to happen there.
There's a nice job by Dion Goins to recover that onside kick.
Yeah,
he did a nice job of covering up and taking a big hit.
Well, he took a good hit on that, too. Well, with 2 minutes, 37 seconds to go, Northwest has got the ball. This is kind of a surprise to me. I thought it might be a good close game, but never dreamt that Northwest would really put it to Harrison Wildcats. Another running play. It's going to be good for 5 yards right up the middle. Yeah, Baldwin, number 6. And you got to understand something. He was hurt earlier in this game. He came right back in. I think it made him stronger, Mike. It's going to be 2nd and 5 as the clock keeps ticking. Well, this wraps things up here at Harrison, Ohio tonight for the Wildcats. They're going to head over to, where are they heading next week, Mike?
They go to Edgewood.
They're going to Edgewood, and, of course, Mount Healthy. Is Mount Healthy going to Northwest?
No, it's at Mount Healthy.
No, it isn't Mount Healthy, and that also gives Mount Healthy a touch of an edge. Here comes Baldwin again. He's got waiting for that opening, and he's seen it.
He's got it.
I don't think they're going to stop him. He'll put the gas on. He's going to take it to the house. Baldwin scores for the Knights.
That's a nice
with just 2 minutes, 1 minute and 41 seconds remaining in the game. And it was kind of picturesque. I don't know if we can get a replay on that. I want you to watch on the 30-yard line how he slowed down and waited for his blockers to give him a hole. It's like the pros. I can't believe it. And we're here at a high school game, and I just think that was great. Well, that's going to make the score 41-25. Is this a big score for Northwest, Mike, or are they used to scoring a lot?
No, they only average about 20 points a game.
Yeah.
So this is huge for them to score this many points. And, of course, Harrison is not the best defensive.
Extra point is good. That's going to put 42 points on the board.
I mean, Harrison's given up some points.
This is the replay I want you to watch. This is the replay of the touchdown. Now watch this. Now watch him. He's going right there. See him slow down? He waited for his blockers to give him a hole, and that's what he needed. He's seen that opening, Mike, and Baldwin, he puts the gas on. It's like driving a car. You just put the gas on and away you go. I don't know about you, but I can't get that extra speed when I need it if somebody's chasing me. Baldwin can.
Northwest is they only average 20 points a game, and they've had a game. The last 2 games, their offense have gotten better. They've won back-to-back games where they've scored 28 and 38 points. Now they've scored 42. So I'm not sure if they've changed their offense or what, but they've gone from a team that wasn't scoring at all to putting up almost 35 points a game. So their last 3 games, they've really put some numbers up. So he's probably changed personnel or changed the offensive scheme of things. That normally doesn't happen unless you make some changes. So, I mean, they've done a nice job of making adjustments, that's for sure.
As I watched them tonight, I only think they made one mistake. They had 1 play to go. Oh, this is way in the first half. Then they put their running quarterback in, and he threw the ball, which I thought was a mistake. But that's okay. Okay, they're going to kick off to the Wildcats. It goes to Hogue again. He's at the 10-yard line, bring it back to the 20, 25-yard line, trying to find a little room, and he's not going anywhere. He's going to get up to the 26-yard line, and Northwest's going to say, this is the end. We're going to stop you right here, and they did. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. There's only going to be 1 minute and 34 seconds, Mike. Any statistic you want here, I tell you, my comrade in arms here, Schweinfest, Mr. Schweinfest, he does have it in his book here.
Well, if you're Harrison right now, you just want to get off the field.
Yeah.
You can't win a ball game with a minute 34 to go, and you've
Nope.
had a bad night.
Correct.
And you want to get off the field and don't get anybody hurt. And once again, Northwest has just done a phenomenal job preparing both offensively and defensively.
And they pass to Hogue again. Weber, you know you always look for your best receiver, and he's done that all night, Mike. And even with no time left on the clock and the game's over, he's still looking for Hogue out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. They're all the way down to their own 43-yard line. Same thing, same offensive, and they're going to hand off up the middle now. And he's going to make, is that James out there or was that Anderson?
That's Anderson,
Well,
29.
Anderson got boarded. When he got hit on the 51, how did he get up? Mike, if they hit you like that, could you get up and jump around like
Not
that?
at this age.
I think we both watched you go to the hospital, Mike. So here it goes with a minute and 5 seconds to go. Weber's in the back. He's throwing the ball away. Can't find anybody. They're about to bring him down. Found a short pass. He's going to get all the way down to the 38-yard line. There is a flag down. What happened, Mike?
You know, why they would call something like that, that wasn't blatant. If they're going to call a late hit, I don't know. It just.
I didn't see a late hit, Mike. That's why I'm
didn't
asking
either.
you.
I don't.
Yeah. Well, apparently there was.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line. He's got the whole team's running downfield. They're trying to block for him.
Yes,
They're doing a good
open.
job,
Yeah,
too.
There's nobody open.
No, nobody. And he's going to get sacked way back in the 47-yard line.
Yeah, the runners were.
Everybody's covered. Harrison's going to take time out with 38 seconds remaining in the ball game. I don't know. Saturday morning, is this how this works, Mike? You go in and you look at films and discuss what we did right or wrong.
I mean, you got to. I think you want to forget. Defensively, you don't want to forget. Defensively, you don't know what you did wrong.
I don't want to go tomorrow morning. If I'm a player, I don't want to go. I want to sleep in tomorrow morning.
I mean, sometimes you're just out. You don't have the same athletic ability that the other team has, and that was the case tonight. The speed was obviously there in Northwest's favor.
Northwest is going to go over and look at this and see those fantastic runs, you know.
Well, I didn't see Mount Healthy play. Just looking at their scores, they put up a lot of points. They put up a lot of yards. This will be a good game next week between Northwest and Mount Healthy. And the reason is because I believe that Northwest has changed something in the last 3 weeks, because all of a sudden they're putting up 30s and 40s into points. So they've changed their offense. So that's going to be a good game next week, and it's going to be huge for Northwest. Northwest has more than Mount Healthy does, so that could be a factor too.
Yeah, I agree. Pass was complete, but it's not going to get them anywhere.
No, the clock's still running. This will probably, well, now they've called timeout.
Well, the pass was to Smith. Gerald Smith caught the ball, but he had 2 men covering him, and there was nowhere for him to go. And, you know, with 26 seconds to go, Mike, I want to get the game over, take my kids to the locker room and say, let's get cleaned up and go home and let's talk about this tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, you want to get out here without any injuries, and you got to regroup if you're Harrison. If you're Northwest, you got something to play for next week. A lot's on the line next week for Northwest, a lot.
Correct.
And that's good for those kids. And Mount Healthy, a win's nice, undefeated season's nice, but they're not going to lose any of their position. They're still going to host a game. So, Northwest might catch them down a little bit next week.
Well, that's why we play the games, Mike, to find out exactly right. I like what you're saying. I still think Mount Healthy will win. I had a friend of mine watching that Mount Healthy in 2 different games. Well, that's a heartbreaker.
Tried to run before he caught the ball.
That's correct. He was looking around, seeing where there was an opening.
Well, it's 4th and 22, Walter, with 21 seconds to go, and this will be the last play for Harrison unless they convert on the first down.
He was looking around to see where the openings were, where everybody was, and you got to catch it first, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, you got to look it in and catch it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Northwest is offsides. That's going to give him 5 yards right there.
Yeah.
That kid lined up offsides.
They're going to have. They had 2 men on the line. Don't you have to have 4 men on the line, Mike? What's the rule on that?
Defense, I think you're supposed to have 4, yeah.
I think you're supposed to, too.
3.
It's 3. Yeah, you got to have 3. I think that's the way it is.
There's nobody there. That's the wrong way to go. He's got him. That's just the culmination of the night right there.
Yeah, with 10 seconds to go. Way back on the 42-yard line. Well,
Northwest's going to have to take a snap.
Ladies and gentlemen, with 9 seconds to go. Everybody's celebrating in the white and the black from Harrison, Ohio. They're just not the happiest in the world. Looks like at the start of the game, it looked like Harrison was in pretty good shape, Mike, and it wasn't to be. And I agree with you. With 9 seconds, there's going to have to be one snap.
Well, the big plays, you said it earlier, the 3 big plays in the first half was huge.
Yes.
And
you know what? Things really didn't change. They came out the second half. Harrison didn't make any alterations, and they stuck to their gun that second half.
Yep.
Northwest did. And ladies and gentlemen, the game is over. The Wildcats 25, and Northwest Knights are going to win it with a score of 42-25. Well, it was a running game here. It was just too much strength from the Knights. Harrison wasn't ready for it, and at the beginning it looked like they were. It didn't work out that way. It's been real fun working with Mike Schweinfest. He's really a professional. He's done this before, and actually he's done it at the college level, and I'm not going to get into all this, but it's actually fun working with him. He knows the game. Any questions I wanted to ask Mike, Mike's got them. Mike, give me some final comments on the game, what you thought here. And
I'm going to roll with what I was saying a few minutes ago. I think this Northwest team has changed their offense. They've found new players to play new positions. Something different has happened in these last 3 weeks. They've won all 3 games by significant numbers. They're putting offensive points up on the board. I think you're going to see a close game next week. Like I say, I haven't seen Mount Healthy play, but I think you're going to see a close game. These guys got more to play for than Mount Healthy does, and I just think it's going to be good for these kids to go into this week knowing they got a chance. And we're going to see what happens next week, but Northwest has something to play for. Hopefully Harrison can hold on. They're probably going to have to travel in their first game, and it's been fun, Walter. I've really enjoyed doing this.
Well, I've enjoyed working with you, Mike. Real quick, for the last time, tell them exactly where they can watch these games. After midnight tonight, what can they do?
Once again, after midnight tonight, they can watch on TWC Channel 4 and C-Bell Channel 834. Tomorrow at noon, you can catch it on Channel 4 and 834. The replay on Sunday is at 6 p.m. on Channel 24 on Time Warner Cable. Monday at 8:30 on Channel 4 and 834, and then again on Thursday, October 30th at 10 a.m. Walter, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. Tonight's final score, Northwest 42, Harrison 25.
Mike, I say the same words, and from Old Chunk, and I speak for Mike Schweinfest too, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. If you're a Northwest fan, you're going to be very happy. If you're a Wildcat fan, it's going to be a little sad. We got our producers, our directors. What a great job ICRC does for us. What a great job they do out here. Look forward, ladies and gentlemen. We won't see you the next year. Mike, I look forward to working with you again. Speaking for Mike Schweinfest, this is Wold Chunk. Ladies and gentlemen, good night, everyone.